1 2 1 2.
Yes, yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode on Football Power Hour. Today's show, we are going to just pretty much just take a moment to look back at how we got here, look at the season, and give each player that is employed by Manchester United, or at least that participated this season, a performance grade and a performance evaluation. If you're new to this channel and you don't know about the performance grades and stuff, we don't do the usual player ratings out of 10. We try and do a little something that's different because,
every game is an exam. Every time again, as a team and as an individual.
And now, after every game is an exam, every season is also an exam for Eriktenhag and the players. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we did. And also I feel like we're going to start off first with a little bit of a look back at the season and, sort of like what we did during the recap show. But this time we're doing it with more depth, precisely about each and every single player. My name is Botswanapapi. You can call me Bots. You can call me Papi. And you're so welcome in this space. Thank you for being here. A few things I want to just quickly mention before we get on the show. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is your opportunity to do so. I think you to comment on the chat and be a part of the conversation, you have to subscribe. And also the other thing is kindly hit the like button. I am privileged today to be joined by the one and only, the professor himself. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands. Let me give him a drum roll. Professor Omo.
Hello, how's everyone doing? We're gonna be strict today.
Professor.
I'm gonna be strict today as well.
That's great. I've been accused of being too lenient and being too kind. So I'm
yes, you are.
Oh, hopefully also we'll be joined by somebody else also to give us a even more balance in the conversation. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to first of all start with just how we got here. Let's hopefully the last time we will do this, look at the Premier League table as it is, where we landed, and as I said, how we got here. So we're currently in the 23-24 Premier League table. We sit at position 8. Yes, in case you've been living under a rock, we are at number 8, and I'm just going to pull it up right now just so that we get a little bit more, precise with it. Here we go. Yeah, we are at 8th, and you can tell, obviously, Newcastle, Chelsea, some teams. There was surprise. Really, the big surprise I think was Aston Villa ending in the top 4 position. But we are.
It's not a surprise. Ferguson they will finish top 4, and they did. It's not a surprise. He said it. Listen.
Listen, Professor, prior to the season starting, you wouldn't have expected Aston Villa,
Edison, I didn't expect it, but Fergie said they will finish top 4, and I took his word for it. And what did they do? Finish top 4.
Ooh, he said that in an interview when he was asked about which players which teams are actually showing promise, and Aston Villa, it was versus Newcastle or something. And
I don't remember.
I can't remember, but it was an interview. And he mentioned Aston Villa saying they're playing really impressive, and I was just like, wow. At that moment, I didn't know what Fergie saw, but in hindsight, after the season ends, I realized this man is a real, analyst of football, and he knew what he saw. But you get what I'm saying, though. A team that Steven Gerrard was coaching, and it didn't really look like they'll have a lot of bite. They ended up on fourth position.
Wait. So real quick, are you saying that Steven Gerrard didn't know what to do with the team, and Emery knew what to do with the team?
Precisely.
We move on. We move on.
In the words of Manju, let's move on. Okay, but before we move on to us, I want to quickly just focus on us. Before I mention some of the key stats for Manchester United, I want to say shout out to the people in the chat. I see Shay in the house saying big up, large up to you, Shay Arsenal. Hope you're doing good. Yale in the house saying Maguire, no England Euro win for you. Oh, nope. He will be home nursing an injury. It's a shame for one of our best players in Shaw, who played how many minutes. He makes the England team. Yale is actually, so Maguire today, we know that he's one of the people that didn't make the cut for the Euros for England. But Maguire, it was because of a calf injury, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, first of all, quickly, Omar, what do you think about that? Is it like a big miss for England? Or is it like,
it's a big miss. Southgate Southgate doesn't know what to do with that squad. It's a big miss, but he could have done better.
Yeah, it's going to be the first time in a while without seeing Harry Maguire in there. Other players that we want to mention really quickly that did not make the Euro 2024 squad for England is Jack Grealish, James Maddison, Braithwaite, James Trafford, Curtis Jones, and Jarrell Kwanzaa. They are unfortunately cut from the squad, and now like that leaves England with some interesting options in terms of defense, midfield, and also the forwards. I think what's really, really, really interesting is they have so many forwards, bro. I want to see England without a Harry Kane. Maybe what Yale is saying is that maybe this time around England stands a good chance of winning. I don't know. Do you fancy them for the Euros, bro?
No, they're gonna drop out the semis.
In the semis. Anyway, we will be there. We will do a proper Euros prediction stream. But today, let's bring it home and put a button on our season and talk about Manchester United. Stephanie in the house saying this should be very interesting. Usual grades with plus, minuses, A, B, C, D, E, F, or mark of 10.
I'm not doing the plus or minuses.
Yeah, I think exactly. Let's simplify it and just give it. It's either like we can call it a generous A or generous B for a B plus, or let's do it that way. No pluses, no minuses, just a solid grade and then a performance remark afterwards. Yale says, "Yep, everyone in A. Yep, you heard it here for Yale.
Get right here, man.
Be serious for a second, Yale." Nikhil in the building. Go big up to Nikhil in the house saying good morning. It's early times over there in Australia, New Zealand. So shout out to you. Good morning. Good day. I got news, big news actually. So big news. I had cake earlier. I got a new apartment. Want it today. Come on. Huge congratulations to Yale, for real. We finally are not homeless anymore. Hopefully, Yale, you can settle in well in your new space. Yes, congratulations. Congrats. Thank you, Stephanie, Luann, and Omo for congratulating Yale and men like Manj in the house. What's up, Manj?
All good. Just wanted to congratulate Yale Mourinho with his house purchase. Big up to him.
Fenerbahce settings. Come on, Yale.
I'm saying that. Now, really, truly, big up to you, man. It's a great achievement, great feat, personal feat as well. So big up to you, and big up to Omo, I believe, and Bots. And congratulations to USA, man. Cricket, what I'm saying? Big win against Pakistan.
Hey, big congratulations there. Shout out to you as well. Box in the house saying, yo, I'm not watching England no more. Now Maguire was X'd. Box is so what? I think that's a reason to watch them now. Like, it'll actually be very interesting to see how they do. So I right now, super initial early predictions, man. Already you almost said semifinals. That's the furthest they're gonna go. What are you saying for England? Where are they gonna go?
quarterfinal exit against Italy.
Ooh.
You know how I say quarterfinals? Because I've done the simulator.
Is Italy in the semis in the Euros?
They're in the, what do you call it? They're in Spain's group with Croatia.
So they're in this Euros. Okay, it's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be problematic. France is a huge favorite. Germany is in there. It's not gonna be a walk in the park. Also, don't forget Portugal. Oh Lord, it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yes.
Have you done a simulator yet for the thing I sent you?
Yes. I know you sent your grades early already. So. Wait, we talking about
Euros.
For the Euros, yes, we're going to use it for as a template for our predictions for the Euros when we do the stream. I think we'll do it tomorrow or on Saturday.
Remind me, Bots, because I found a better one. Because obviously on this one you can't refresh it, so I'll find you a better one for it.
Got you. All right, sounds good. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in, guys. We have 12 people already that have joined us now. Let's bring it back home. Let's bring it back to Manchester United. Before boxes, I would like to see Ronaldo lift the trophy with us. So that would be crazy. Yeah, he's about to make history to be 6 Euros, consecutive Euros.
Yep.
Damn, that would be insane if Ronaldo actually lifts it as well.
Before we get to the ratings, Bots, 1 sec.
Yeah.
I've got the feeling Argentina will win the Copa America and Messi will be given a Ballon d'Or.
Nah, that's a reach. Ballon d'Or? What has he done other than like MLS Messi has been disappointing? Come on, man.
I mean, he's the FIFA's baby, you know. They'd like to give him any award.
He's FIFA's baby, but there's no way they can defend him now. Like, come on, it'll be crazy. It'll be crazy.
We'll revisit this in July.
Yeah. Come on, Ballon d'Or right now is Vinicius. It's Jude Bellingham. It's Toni Kroos. In my opinion, those are the front runners for it. I don't even see Messi in the podium, bro. Don't
let Argentina win it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll talk about that in more depth, obviously. But let's bring it back to Premier League. First of all, before we even talk about, our player grades and everything, I just want to quickly just highlight the main thing that I wanted to make sure we touch on is that we scored 57 goals and conceded 58 goals. That left us with a -1 goal difference. And from the goals that we scored, we actually scored some bangers. We scored a few goals that were really ones that I feel like we cannot replicate. And it's something to mention. I don't want to first just I know Omo wants to crack the whip already and on these kids and be like F for everybody. But before we go that deep, before we go that far, I want to ask really quickly, there was some highs, some highlights, and some low lights and medium lights in the season. So quickly, first of all, let's just start with the low lights of the season. What would you say is one moment that you felt like this was really, really low for you? I can go first if Manje not ready to answer.
Let's start this early.
We're ready.
Forest 2-0 loss, 2 cutback goals. We started out the whole season. That game just came very prevalent.
Nottingham Forest 2-0 loss. Wait.
I want to have 2 more to add to that. The funniest one.
Wait, Nottingham. Yeah, that was in the thing Wait, we beat Nottingham Forest 2-0 in the Carabao, right?
Not the Carabao. They beat us 2-0. Cut back from Gibbs White and the other guy, Jimenez, I forgot who it was.
Yeah. In April. Wait, no, that was Man United. We won 2-0. What am I looking at? Hold on. I scrolled all the way to last season. That's why I was so confused. So that was 2-1 Omo in December, right? 2-1. Gibbs White and Dominguez scored, and then Marcus Rashford scored.
Those 2 beautiful cutback goals.
Yeah, December 30th. That was more or less how we ended the year. It was yeah. That was a low light. Okay. What else? You said you got two more.
The other one where Thomas Frank said, "I'm gonna go down the middle and score." He did it, and the next year Thomas Tuchel said, "I'm gonna do that as well," and he did it. Those were, I was like, it's unbelievable. That's it for me.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. So on the return fixture, we beat Forest 3-2. But I'm looking for the Brentford one right now. Brentford.
Is it Brentford or Bournemouth? I think it was Bournemouth. I don't know who the manager is at the
time. Okay. With Brentford, we beat them. Hold on a second, because the season started. There we go. Like, I keep scrolling to when the end of last season, and the results look good all of a sudden, and I'm like, okay. all right, here we go. So we had, the season. Come on, guys, it didn't start like horribly, almost like it wasn't as terrible as you're sort of painting it at the beginning. Like if we remember well, since we started 12th of August, that's when the season started. I think our first game was the Wolves one, right?
14.
And we won.
That was horrible.
On the 14th, we won 1-0. Yeah. It was horrible because it could have been 1-1, and it was a defender. It was Rafael Varane who scored that goal for us and bailed us. But if Onana was caught for like bringing somebody down, like punching somebody, it could have been 1-1, right?
He gave them a lot of chances to score, and they said, "Nah, we're not scoring," and so we're happy for that.
That was the Cunha moments, isn't it? When you missed about 5 chances.
Yeah.
Okay, we know what followed that game. Actually, the month of August was not good. Spurs beat us 2-0.
Beautiful game.
Then, at Spurs' ground, right? You're saying beautiful game. Get out of here for saying that, but whatever. It was when Licha scored an own goal and Malang Sarr scored for Spurs, and then whatever. It was 2-0, and then we went to Nottingham Forest. We beat them 3-2. That was actually not bad. Christian Eriksen scored. Believe it or not, I think that probably might have been the last time we saw Eriksen score, because there's been far and few between these goals. And after that 3-2, we went to the Emirates and we were lost 3-1.
Nice.
That's not looking good, actually. When you look at it in hindsight, because after Arsenal, we went and played the Zerbi ball.
Yeah.
And that score was 3-1.
Hannibal scored the screamer. By the way, that's the game we conceded 3 cutbacks.
Wait, hold
on. Oh my God.
United lost home to Brighton. Oh my days.
Yes, we lost in the beginning of the season 3-1. We were on the road like first 15 minutes and just played possession football. They just caught us and scored 2 goals from a cutback in the first half.
You know what it is, guys? There'll be so many losses. I can't remember which one's which.
Do you know there's too many low lights? The more I zoom in and think about it. Okay, so whatever. Okay, let's leave the Brighton game. Then we play our first Champions League game. We go to this is now in September, right? We go to Bayern Munich. We lose 4-3. But the team showed a bit of fight. Like I wouldn't put that even as a low light, like because of this Allianz Arena, like Bayern have never really lost.
I believe that was Old Trafford. That was Old Trafford, I believe.
No. This is
Allianz Arena.
Okay. So the first game we played in the Champions League group stages, the first game was against Bayern in Germany. And they scored.
He said like a Navigo, comeback number 5. Go on. I remember some of these goals,
I remember. And then the fight that we showed, Martial came on, and he pulled a madness, like Casemiro assisted Casemiro. I think Casemiro scored a brace, and then Rasmus Højlund got his first goal in the Champions League for United. And We lost, but I left feeling like, for me personally, I was like, that's not a low light. It's like we showed some fight. It's Bayern Munich. It's a team that's like, got Champions League.
We all know who the low light is. Come on, it happened recently. Palace 4-0.
This guy just changed his name to Cutback FC. I'm realizing that.
Get over here, man.
Oh man, you got jokes.
You know the low life is the low life of the 4-0 loss to Palace. Like that's it.
Actually, that nothing beats that. What about you, man? There's gotta be. I think the 4-0 Palace was a big stab for me. It made me almost cry. What was your low light of lowest, man? Since there's quite a few to choose from.
I remember this day specifically. I remember you and Sachiv on this watch along. It was United 0, Bournemouth 3, and that game, should have been more, man.
Yeah, December 9. Yeah. December 9, where the manager said go down the middle. That was that day. It was that day. The manager said go down the middle. And what did he do? Go down the middle. The following week, wait. This is a funny part. 3 days later, Bayern Munich go down the middle.
What about in the chat? What is your low light of the season? And then we'll go to medium light. And then there's gotta be some positive. There's gotta be. I know you guys it wasn't a great season, but there's gotta be one, Professor, where you find like, all right.
There's only one positive. That's United versus Newcastle. No, not Newcastle. United versus Liverpool.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's it. In the FA Cup 4-3. Yeah. That's it. Nothing else. Not the African final. That particular game. That's it.
Let's see. Box was like, can we please fast forward to the FA Cup final?
I didn't forget, guys.
We are looking at our season, Box. Before we talk about the grades, we gotta mention there's gotta be a few moments where there was like some standout, moments, that were good. We want to do a comprehensive look back.
There's some standout moment. There is let's see.
Stephanie says away first Bayern lost 4-3. Okay, yeah. Stephanie's low light is Bournemouth at home. That was a
of course. Of course. There's
tough one to swallow for sure. Okay. All right. Wait, let's quickly. I want to make sure that we zoom past the months. We were in September, right? And then we look at Burnley. We beat Burnley 1-0. Another I think that was just a Bruno goal. 1-0, whatever. It's Burnley, punching bag of the Premier League, but they weren't
company Burnley, by the way. Be right, company Burnley.
Sure. But check this out. We have a moment where we play after that Burnley game. We play Crystal Palace, right? But this is in the Carabao Cup, and we are playing, a lot of kids. We got Pelistri, Hannibal in the middle, behind Martial, and Garnacho on the left. Mason Mount in there.
That's my highlight. That's my highlight right there.
That's that game for me too. That was easily. The FA Cup final was good.
Our best game of the season. We played football. We're on the front foot playing football, not sitting back. We're on the front foot playing football with the kids. That's the game of the season for me. I can't forget about that. That beautiful game.
You could make an argument though and say whatever the Crystal Palace, let's see that they had Schlupp, Mateta up front. Mateta, they had Doucouré, they had Jordan Ayew, Holding, Richards, Mitchell. It was a fairly balanced team from it was Roy Hodgson still at that time, I think. But it was
balanced from both sides.
Yeah. I think
they had 7 starters and we had 6 starters.
Yeah. And then Eze came on later on in the game as well. So it was actually not. For me, it was the first time I saw we were playing fluid, really, really not letting Crystal Palace dictate.
I like that.
if you look at our stats, we had 70% possession that game. 70. 7 shots on target, 2 on target for Crystal Palace. Incredible.
Good game.
Incredible.
Good game.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, into the building. I want to say shout out to Ivan in the house. Thank you for joining. And we have 5007 agents that have not hit the like button. 17 people in total that have tuned in on X and on YouTube. So kindly do the thing where you hit the like button. Let me welcome man like Reese in the house. Reese. How you doing, bro? Long time no see.
It's been a while. Hello. Wow, I'm on the big ass screen. What's up, humans? Hope everyone's doing good. It's been a pleasure.
You just looking back at your and be like, oh.
I've not streamed in a while, so MIA is definitely a more acceptable option than say Mission Impossible.
Yes, you've been MIA like a lot of Manchester United starters this season, bro. But it's good to have you.
I mean that's
except
fair,
what?
but I mean a little MIA like them, but the difference is though is at least I can take accountability.
Reese, I actually I've never even. I feel like maybe the last time I saw you was before the season started. So I gotta ask you this question before we continue. I know it was before the season started. So if being eriktenhag in is a girl or a female, and being eriktenhag out is a male, how many times have you changed your sex this season?
I've stayed the same one all season.
Oh, okay. All right. And where are you at, by the way?
To be honest, like eriktenhag in, eriktenhag out. Frankly, and the best way to put it is, if this is the guy that's supposed to take us forward, then why did we go 5 steps backwards? And people are going to say, oh, but we've had injuries. Oh, we've had 18 different centre-back pairings and all that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. But you're the manager in Man United. You've had 450 million quid to spend. You were highly regarded at Ajax, where you won 2 or 3 doubles. You've rebuilt 2 separate teams playing 2 different ways of football. You've played the Dutch method of total football, of transitional interchangeable play.
Yeah.
And you've played a more German, Spanish hybrid of pressing with possession football.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to short passing and dominating transition in that area and building up from the back. So if you're such a highly regarded manager with different facets of play, different ways of coaching, then explain how you've went from 3rd in a Carabao Cup to 8th place, which is worse than David Moyes, and he didn't even finish his season, and an FA Cup final. Yeah, 2 trophies is fantastic. I'm fine with that. That's cool. Man United winning trophies is important, but you can't go from 3rd to 8th with all that money spent and be regarded as a top coach in world football if that's the circumstance. For me, people are saying that under a new ownership and a new direction, then he should be given a chance. That's fine, but how far do you go? For me, I'm very hesitant to give him a chance, regardless of the FA Cup final. Van Gaal was 4th, got Champions League football like he was told to do.
Yeah.
He got eliminated in the group stage, lost to Liverpool in the Europa League, which was embarrassing because we beat Liverpool both times in the league that season comfortably. Yeah. He then wins the FA Cup, gets sacked. Mourinho, we all saw what happened. First season, League Cup, Europa League, 6th position, beats Leicester, the champions in the Community Shield, which is an irrelevant game anyway. Following season, with 84 points, when by metrics we should have finished 6th.
We should have finished what? You cut off. I didn't hear the
by metrics that season, we should have finished 6th in the league. So to finish second, the way we did that season, to finish second is a remarkable accomplishment. The following season, he gets sacked because it's Mourinho expectation. Things go down. He didn't get what he wanted. and we binned him when, frankly, we should have kept him, regardless of what people, my opinion, what people thought at the time. We should have stuck with Mourinho and just gave him what he wants.
Got you.
Solskjaer, club legend. As a manager, however, it didn't work out. Less said, the better. Now it's where's the direction? Where are we going? If he has a third season, I'll be honest with you, I'm expecting 2 trophies. 1 isn't enough to keep his job. He needs at least 2. If it's both domestic trophies, fine. If it's the Carabao Cup and the League Cup, that's fine.
Okay.
He needs to do a whole lot better with the league, and I do not want to hear it's part of the plan every single presser. I want to see actual tangible evidence of progression. So if he wants to stay, he must genuinely do better next year. I don't want excuses.
Yes, I like it. I like that you dovetailed your expectations for him if he stays this season. That's really, really great. And the moment when you came into the conversation, we were, doing a quick. I'm actually now speed it up as a quick recap. By the way, show us your belt again. You were showing it off after you won the happy hour one of the Fridays.
I'm actually there next week, so there you go, guys.
The castle, yeah. All right, that's good.
But I'm only half an hour for there, so
nice.
I'm half an hour from that, and then I'm going to Wembley as well. Again, going to Wembley again. I'm going to a few shows, so yeah, all in too. Nice. I'll be there. So
nice. Well, I'm so happy to have you join us for this. And all right, we had already mentioned our low light of the
season. Good to see you all. I've missed everybody, so I'm sorry for disappearing for a very long time.
Mate, we missed you too. Hopefully, you don't disappear for so long again. We need you in the next happy hour too, by the way.
I know it can be quite critical, but. I know it can be quite critical, but I have a laugh, so I am definitely here to still have fun. Unless you're Antony, then hide, because there's only one place you're going, mate.
So Reese, it's not been a great season for us. We've had a lot of highlight and a lot of low lights, medium lights, and highlights. I'm curious, what is your low light of the season, and then we're gonna move on with the conversation.
My low light probably was that, I'll be honest, it's not as much as the league, but for me the whole low light was the Champions League group, because I know there's a top comment in there. I think it was Stephanie, I'm not sure, mentioned the 4-3 to Bayern. When you look at the games in the Champions League group, we genuinely should have got out of that group. I didn't think at the start of the season we would get maximum points. The minute I seen Bayern, I thought we were going to get Bayern anyway. It seemed normal we were going to get Bayern Munich. So I was like, I expected that. So there's 2 games, 6 points lost. Because I didn't think we would get a point at Old Trafford or even at the Allianz Arena. I thought we would get beat both times, and I was right.
Sure.
But against the likes of Copenhagen and Galatasaray.
Yeah, actually, well, we're just about to get there. Before even Copenhagen, bro. Before we played Copenhagen, we played Galatasaray in Turkey and lost 3-2. Right? This is now like we just finished the month of September and now we're going into October. And it was a little bit crazy because like that game is the one where I think Casemiro is the one that got a red card, and Haaland scored a brace. But Icardi is the one that scored that final goal for Galatasaray, and then it put us in a weird situation because this was our second game of the Champions League, and it still looked like okay, there's some hope we can turn it around because our next Champions League game was Copenhagen, and we won that one 1-0 at Old Trafford. Right, that's towards the end of October. And it was a Harry Maguire who scored again, but it wasn't obviously an easy game, but it was, relatively speaking, it should have been an easy opponent. Copenhagen coming to your home, you're supposed to beat them. But another game I need to mention really quickly about the month of October is we went ahead and welcomed Mancity at Old Trafford. Does anybody remember how that went?
I remember. Ten Hag trying to set up and try to be compact. and he took off. I think he started Amrabat and Eriksen, and he was saying that because the report was like, because the referee said like, be careful, Amrabat, I'm gonna give him a yellow, so he took him off, and that was it. The game went downhill from there.
Yeah, it was because the midfield was McTominay, Amrabat, and Eriksen.
Yes.
And they got exposed within the first 5 minutes.
That one puzzled me, because
as it was stopping them, the moment the manager took off Amrabat in the second half, it was GG. We're not in the game at all.
That I'll be honest, like I knew the minute we were going to lose that game, the minute that midfield was selected. Like the minute I seen the team sheet and that was the midfield, I knew we had already lost.
Really?
Yeah. But and to be fair, it's not because they're terrible players. It's nothing to do with that. Amrabat's a decent player. I know he's had a lot of stick off United fans all season. And to be fair, when you look at performances, I don't blame them. But when you look at the fact that his players come to this club and they're already fucked for the get-go, apologies for the language, anybody. I'm Scottish, it happens. He was thrown into that game after being played at left wing back, and that really summed up like when you go from a position you shouldn't even be into your main position, you're doomed, especially from a manager who's generally taking the mick in a tactical sense.
Yeah,
McTominay, we all know he's, to be fair, it's his best goal scoring season, but he's still a useless player. And Eriksen, I've got all the love and respect for Christian Eriksen. Like the guy literally died on the field, done a reverse Jesus. In that sense, now he's Iron Man, but with Danish cheese and greatness in him. But he got absolutely cooked by that midfield, and it was a shame because it was a misplaced pass. Funnily enough, that started the whole game, and who got the absolute rinse at him? It was Christian Eriksen. He got rinsed, and McTominay had more space between them than anything else. So there was no cohesion there with the midfield. They were absolutely exposed, and the minute I seen it from the get-go, I was like, nah, this is going to be a long afternoon.
Yeah. And to be honest, that game we have to give props to Onana, because it could have been 8-0 or something like that. And like our midfield was so open. And I think for me, it was the beginning of just noticing that, like I had noticed the cutback issue, like by this time in the season, that it kept on repeating and repeating. But like our midfield was not like that easy that you could just walk through. Like, at least for me, it took me about, I think that game, then I was like, we really have a problem here. Like, and it was obviously, maybe I was probably blinded by the fact that Eriksen was part of like our standout players the season prior. And he just hasn't been the same since that Andy Carroll tackle, Anyway, so we lose 3-0 to Man City, and then from there, like, whatever, we can forget that game. But the problem is, right after that, we get knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Newcastle. Another 3-0.
That was another low point.
That was tough. That was tough to take.
I believe Hannibal and Casemiro both got yellow card in the first 20 minutes. Garnacho losing the ball in a poor position while Regulon was doing the overlap. Livramento ran down that whole midfield, ran past Hannibal, ran past Mount, laid the ball off to Almiron, easy 1-0. Dalot saw the man. Maguire was chasing whoever the other guy is. I think it was Anthony Gordon. Lindelof was guiding the ball. It was like two line of defense there. Second goal, Hannibal not going for the ball easily. Second goal, Lewis Hall. Third goal, what was the third goal again? I forgot. Wilcox. Right at the midfield. The type of goal Will scored and the type of goal Elisa scored in the 4-0 loss. Same exact thing.
It felt like our midfield after that City game, it was just more like every coach in the Premier League that was facing us was like, this is how you do it. You just pass, they almost set a blueprint. And I think that's when we just started even just like conceding more and more shots. I mean, we know the statistic where we were like high up there in terms of conceding shots. It wasn't always
Yeah,
about.
we are high. The second, we are 19th in the league. The person that's higher than us is Sheffield at 20.
Oh
Yeah,
Lord!
we generally had that in terms of defense. Like in terms of shots conceded, we were by far the worst in the league. Besides Sheffield United, we were the best inside not even just the top 10. We were the worst inside the top.
We were
6.
second. We were second. We were second to last. Is a fact. Second to last. Yep.
I think altogether you'll be able to get the exact number, but I think it was like well over 700 shots. Like, which is I don't care who you are. Like, even for a Man United manager, that's also a sackable offence. You shouldn't be conceding that amount of shots. It says as well, like at the end of the season, goals conceded. We conceded more than double what Arsenal did in the entire Premier League campaign.
Gosh.
More than double of the bottlers, which is
that. And then okay, fine. We forget that game, whatever. We get knocked out of that energy drink cup. Who cares about it? We won it last year. It doesn't matter now. And then we play Fulham, and the way we beat Fulham is interesting because we only beat them by 1-0 in the 91st minute. Bruno Fernandes scores. And this one was just like, hold on a second. For me, I had a moment where I was just like noticing that teams that we're supposed to be beating were actually struggling with them, and we're beating them by like a one moment of like brilliance or one moment of just like, you know, a lucky fluke, like added time. Because there was you remember when Scott McTominay scored in added time, and
Brentford.
I think it might have been versus Brentford or Sheffield. You know, I thought like, oh, this is just an anomaly. But then I just started realizing that they could be a pattern here where we just get bailed out by one moment. You know,
there was the element of the team.
Was that the game Scott? Was that the game where Scott McTominay scored 2 goals?
No. Fulham, it was Bruno Fernandes, 91st minute.
Moments of brilliance.
Yeah. And I think
really started to show that game for me was where the
was it Johnny Evans with the
dipping ball,
you lob ball, and then Bruno with the amazing technique, or that was a different game? Hold on, let me just double check.
It was the fact that it was when you see the team playing in that game, even against Fulham. Like, Fulham have always been a nightmare team for United as far back as I can remember, but we've had games where we really did smash them. There's games where it was really close. This one, United didn't even deserve a point. Like, it was awful to watch. And again, it was the naivety of the manager thinking that it was easy. Stephen's playing, it was Evan against Burnley, the dip and pass.
No, it was Facundo Pelestri assist.
That was the Pelestri assist. Okay. Yeah, because that lobbed ball was versus like a different team. It was maybe like
Burnley.
Oh, I think this is a cutback goal that we scored here.
Finally, we get our first cutback goal of the season.
1 of 1.
This is crazy. Whatever. This is the beginning of November, and now we're playing. The next game is Copenhagen. We're playing them away, Copenhagen away, and
this is when I was Ten Hag out. My Ten Hag out was here.
Oh no! Is Marcus Rashford red card, right? Which was unfairly given, subjective.
Yes.
But yeah. So that was your turning point, Omo. That's when you said Ten Hag out after this game.
Yes, exactly. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. Bruno Fernandes scored the penalty at 69 minutes. They made 4.
Oh no! You keep cutting off.
It's the rage.
Oh, wait, hold up. Okay, they made 4 subs and they scored a goal.
Yeah.
They made 4 subs after Bruno Fernandes penalty. Because we got lucky with that. It's a penalty with 10 men down. They made 4 subs. The manager decided not to make any sub. They scored a goal after their 4 subs. You took out Mount for Haaland. Then you bring in Mount to score for Haaland, and they scored another beautiful cutback goal. Listen, you cannot make this up, man. You cannot make this up. Oh, and now this is big with our defending back post. They've been trying to go down that wing and cross for the longest, and they were doing it until they're able to get their goals.
Mm-hmm.
This one was tough, It was tough to win, because for me, I was just like, Copenhagen, we're gonna win it. Whatever, they are gonna intimidate us, blah 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 blah. With the whole what they did to the Man United team years ago when they went to Copenhagen, but they should have been like it was like it's also like it's either we win this or we are out of the competition.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I actually didn't even know that would finish bottom. I thought maybe Europa League, that's where we're going to end up. But, some guy called Rooney.
My prayers was answered that day. I'm like, do not give me Europa League. 1, 2, or 4 is what I want.
Like
1, 2, 4.
For me, like Reese, that was my low light after this game. That was when I was just realized, I knew Onana had him hand in sort of like, making things like difficult for us in the Champions League, sabotaging us, the Casemiro red card, the free kick goals that he let in, like that was tough to watch, But anyway, that was that moment. And then from there, quickly, we move on from the Copenhagen game. Shay, big up to you. I just DM'd you the link, my mate. In November, another standout performance was when we beat Everton 3-0. That's a highlight for me. The Garnacho bicycle kick. 3 minutes into the game, Everton is just fresh out of FFP, charges, and they have like the signs, there's this solidarity between the players and the fans. And it took a moment of brilliance from Dalot to cross that ball, and it was just a great moment for me. I think that was my highlight for the season as well. Like, is anybody else that shares that moment as being up there, or somebody else in another?
It's my second highlight of the season. Well, actually, not third actually, because obviously our last game of the season obviously is second, but number one, we'll get to that later.
Okay. Omo already said it was Liverpool.
Wait a minute. We won this game, right?
We won it 3-0.
The amount of spaces they had, the amount of spaces they had, it was embarrassing. They were just, thank God they were bad. Thank God they were bad. The amount of cutback, the middle, the Corey missing beautiful shot, whoever that striker is. Declan, I think Declan, whatever his name is, they're all missing. Thank God. We are poor.
This was the
the police are looking for Omo.
this was the game for me.
They can never find me.
It was this game where I was like, Dalot's gonna get player of the season as well.
That's the game when you said Dalot's gonna get what? Player of the season?
Yeah, from this game onwards. Yeah, because after this, like he just kept going. Like he got better and better after this game.
Yeah, I feel like, guys, Munch, is there a game that you felt like we are comfortable, we're gonna win this? I don't know. I'm just curious. Just looking back into the season, like, was there a game that, like, even when you're like, we can play them another 10, 15 minutes, we're still gonna win this?
I can't remember when it was. Is it Everton at home when we got 2 penalties? Garnacho got man of match or something like that. I think United won 2-0 towards the end of the season. I'm not sure when it was, but that's the game for me.
I like how Stephanie says if we played Everton 38 times, we win the Premier League.
Mine was the Villa 3-2 win. Because they I don't know what Emery was doing, but he was doing foolishness there. You got the 2 early goals, and you are doing some pragmatic, like, is it pragmatic or weak stuff? And we just got the ball and just scored 3 goals from them.
Sure.
Was the bots. It was the March. Let's have a look. When was it? It was the March the 9th game. United won 2-0. Bruno and Rashford penalties.
Okay. I remember that one too. Okay.
The best game I watched all season. The best game I watched was the only game I was at, and that was the Liverpool game in the FA Cup, because I was at Old Trafford for that game.
Oh, Reese, you were there for that?
Yeah, that was my first Old Trafford game. Yeah, it was sick.
Oh,
So I
wow.
literally had the winner right in front of me. So I had that whole thing,
Nice.
the whole run and the
Oh,
finish right in front of me. So
what a moment, bro. What a moment.
yeah,
Shout out to you for being there. That's definitely gonna be unforgettable. Speaking of shout out to Vicky in the house, by the way. And Nick in the house as well. Nick says, Vicky was like, someone called the police in, calling United out. Omo, watch out, bro. Hopefully you're good. Hopefully it's not this guy. Nick says,
I'm too
Maino's
violent.
winning goal against Middlesbrough in the FA Cup and Ahmad's winning goal against Liverpool in the FA Cup were the two highlights for me. What was your highlight, Vicky? Let us know as well. If you're in the chat, we want to know. Guys, there's 23 people in total that are tuned in on all platforms. Kindly hit the like button. Let us know your highlight and low light of the season. All right. Let's quickly now, really quickly zoom through, because now we're in December. We played Liverpool. That was 0-0. That was also pretty good. We lost to Bournemouth 3-0. Oh, that's the one that we were talking about
Yeah,
earlier.
this was.
That's
this
the
was
one. That was the one.
This is the. I think
That was the funniest game ever. The funniest game.
This is the game I think where United started scouting that Kirkus as well, the young left back. I think it started from here, but this is the game where the Bournemouth manager was never going to get sacked after this, because they got even better. And it, like, to be fair, Solanke should have had a hat trick in this game. Should have, and he should have won the Golden Boot, in my opinion. He was excellent this year.
If he should have had it, you mean we should have lost 5-0 because he only scored one. Billing scored the other, and Senesi scored the other one. And we just
Senesi was really good at centre back. For me, the whole game, apart from Solanke, the one player that really set the tone for me that I was like, fuck's sake, was Billing.
Yeah,
Billing was brilliant in this game, but after this, I knew that Areola was not going to get sacked. I know he was one of the favourites to get sacked at the start of the season because it's obviously a new manager coming from the league, but he played good football in Spain. And I was like, if he gets the one result that will annoy me all season, if he beats United at least once, then that's it. And he beat United, comfortably beat United, and I was like, nah, he's not getting the sack.
Yeah, man.
Like, just give that guy a new contract after that result.
Such a beautiful game.
Oh, that was a tough one for me to witness. I think I did a rant after that game. I was not happy. Bournemouth is a team that we should be beating, and they stand. I understand these. Why in a rebuild? Blah 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 blah. Like if we look at
you are giving excuses.
No, but like
you're giving excuses.
Like, cause listen, we still had Reguilon in that game. He was our left back. Dallo was our right back. Maguire and Luke Shaw was two centre back, right? And our midfield was Amrabat, McTominay, Bruno. That's a solid team. Martial up front. Come on, man.
You know, Papi, you're right. It is a solid team.
When you say Martial, you team.
Vicky says Casemiro had the head injury and Forsen was out of trash during that Bournemouth game. That really was a
Papi, how many times do I tell you it's a setup? Yeah. I'm not gonna say his name like Lord Voldemort. I'm not saying his name, but you know who. But we move.
We move. Let's Shay, if you check your Instagram, bro, I sent it to you there. If you want to join us. Stephanie says Wolves 4-3 away win. Watched in the pub was my highlight with the Wolves. His face
when Maino scored.
Stephanie was with a Wolves fan, and his face when Maino scored that amazing last minute goal. That was nice. Big moment there. Okay, cool. That was the month of December, and let's not forget that we also welcomed Bayern Munich to Old Trafford, and they put the nail in the coffin, and it was 1-0. Really,
do you know how they scored?
Right
down there. Right down the middle.
Down the middle.
Right down the middle. Thomas Tuchel said he was going down the middle. And where did he go? Down the middle.
It
King
was,
It's like a,
that
it was
sucks.
the complete
sucks.
midfield dominance of Bayern that game, but it was for me it was not just that, it was a standout performance of their two wingers. Like the wingers completely bossed our fullbacks. Sane especially. Sane.
and they were not fit neither that game. They were not fit.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Like that's how much of a nightmare it is for United that even an unfit Sane, who's still incredible anyway, milked this team dry. It was easy, and I think Tuchel was not even that bothered. Like Bayern didn't need anything from this game; they were already through. United needed to win, and United didn't even bother. Like they just didn't bother turning up at all. They were like, "Nah, we'll sack off."
That one like really crushed my heart, man. But you know what? Whatever. Champions League was out the window. I was like, "What? Okay, we move right. Let's try and salvage FA Cup and Premier League." We were in middle of December, right? Omo talked about the 3-2 win versus Aston Villa at home. That was good. Let's not forget we lost 2-0 to David Moyes' West Ham. 2-0 with Mohamed Kudus trying to sit down. That's a game to forget. Then we played Nottingham Forest. We got beat 2-1 by Forest, and then played Wigan Athletic. We won 2-1 FA Cup third round.
With a strong team. We gotta be specific. With an FA Cup with a strong Manchester United team. Strong Premier League proven team.
Kobe Mainoo, McTominay, Bruno in the middle, Garnacho right, Rashford left, Haaland front. Gosh,
Strong.
It's like we were playing Man City or something. He's just like, I don't care if it's Wigan Athletic. We're going big. But you know what? And new one comes just a few weeks later, right? Because this is beginning of January, right? Yeah. We draw versus Spurs, and then we play Newport County. It was supposed to be an easy game right after Kobe Mainoo scored in the 13th minute. We were 2-0 up after 13 minutes, and then something happens. Newport gets a goal, and then they get another goal.
Papi, I told you that in the previous round before this, I said Newport will win. People doubted me. Newport's supposed to win this game. Newport were a favorite. All they had to do was, because the way they beat Wolves, I'm like, we're gonna run through us. In the first half, they were scared. You see what happened that second half? Then let's just play our game. We're already down 2-0. Just play your game and see what happened. Manchester United is a fun club.
If it wasn't for that very close, if it wasn't for that very close VAR decision, the team that through would have.
Oh, that's commentary. That's commentary. Listen, Manchester United is a fun club.
It's coming up. Let's speed through to it, because this was a moment for me. I realized we have a systematic problem of not being able to like secure leads. You know, yes. like even if we were leading, like it's still not like definitive that we're gonna win the game. Sure, we won 3-0 versus Everton in November, but that was one game where I think that's probably our highest scoring game, like our most like convincing score, let me say, because it was 3-0, and I don't remember any other 3-0 match that we had. But anyway, so with Newport County, right after we finished with Newport, we're in February. Wolves, we beat them 4-3, very close game, and that's the one that Stephanie was at the pub for, because you know it was
that's the one that we scored, they score. Like, come on.
Like they punch you, too funny.
That's a sucker punch game.
But great goal by Kobe Mainoo, easily goal of the season. And you know, maybe the Garnacho bicycle kick, but this one was really, really, really good as well.
This game felt like an old-fashioned boxing match. You know, when it's two boxers past their prime, they're trying to get to the 10th round, but it's actually the third round, and they're both out of tank, like they're out of gas, like the tank fumes are going out, and all you see is just big, massive punches That was Man United versus Wolves. It's just, so if we score first, we'll see what happens. No, we'll concede. So we'll shoot again. Then we'll concede again. Then we'll score, and then then mine is like, I'm like Floyd Mayweather. Just give me the money, and I'll do the business. So
yeah. It was a little bit of a I think boxing match. That's a very accurate description of it. But whatever, we moved from that one, and then by the way, Stephanie said people's expectations and acceptance are worlds apart. Stephanie says celebration highlight Holy Trinity sitting on advertising. Yes, that picture was beautiful, sitting on the advertising.
I think we want to run in the league here. Look at that Wolves game.
Yes.
We won 4 games in a row. Or 3. How you want to do it?
That was a really good moment. I think like we can look back at it with a smile at least, whatever. It gave us a good beginning of the month, right? We start February a little bit like positive. We play West Ham. We beat them 3-0. Another 3-0. Oh, so we've had 2 3-0s. I had forgotten about this West Ham 3-0. Garnacho brace, Haaland scores again, and at Old Trafford. Things are okay. We're looking good. Aston Villa versus Man United. I watched this live. Actually, that was when I met Omo for the first time, in person. And I watched it in a pub, and it was really, really nice.
I think that's the one I said McTominay's going to come on and score because the game was still 1-1 at the time.
That guy did the dance. What's his name? Douglas Luiz did the chicken
that was
dance on us. And then and then next thing you know, like we end up doing the chicken dance on him with that Scott McTominay almost last minute goal, 86th minute. That was nice. That was nice. Luton Town, we beat them 2-1. February was good for us. February, there were lots of tough months, but the month of February was more or less good, except we lost 2-1 to Fulham. That's how we ended February, with like a 2-1 loss to Fulham at home. Maguire scored in the 89th minute, but then to what felt like was going to be 1-1, and then Iwobi 97 minutes in scores.
It will be after AFCON. He looked. It will be after AFCON was a different baller.
FA Cup, we beat Nottingham Forest 1-0. Then we go to the Etihad. And what midfield does he choose this time, Ten Hag? Kobe Mainoo, Casemiro, McTominay. We got Rashford, Garnacho, and Bruno up front. And Lindelof is the left back. Johnny Evans, Varane is the 2 center backs, and then Dalot is on the right back. And we actually, score that screamer. Bruno sets the ball up nicely for Rashford outside the box. Easily one of our goal of the season contenders as well. And then from there, the rain starts pouring. After we scored on the 8th minute, Phil Foden. Yeah, Foden
because Rashford want to sit on the ground all day and fall asleep.
Oh boy.
He went for retirement.
Appearance also for Omari Forson as well. But Amad Diallo was on the bench that time. He didn't come in. We saw We saw Kambwala, Antony, Amrabat come in as substitutes as well. But you know what? We moved. It was 3-1 City, whatever. They're on a title charge. And, we just had to move out the way. Whatever. We go wipe our sorrows with Everton. We beat them 2-0. Nice. 2 penalties. Bruno scores 1. Rashford scores 1. Was this the game where Bruno gave Rashford the penalty like a charity?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was like...
This is the second game. Game. He'd done it before.
Yeah. He's like, here you go. He's like... Fernandez like, here you go. You've been shit, mate. The fans need to love you, so here's the ball. Go and score.
No, but it was because that's actually, for me, that's the stuff that I admire about Bruno that goes unnoticed. When the stats merchants are talking about, why is that so low? Like those little moments, like that's a captain, and you can't put that on paper. It's his attributes, that his character. He was trying to get his fellow forward going.
It's mine. I penalty. Aye.
I hear it. Vicky says February was good. Injuries were coming back, but then Luke Shaw was off injured. I know. Things were on the up, and then anytime it felt like things are coming together, something would happen, would have a major setback. And then whatever. Then we have easily one of our favorite games. We've mentioned it a few times already in the show. Liverpool United FA Cup quarterfinals. We win 4-3. Amad Diallo, decides to take his shirt off as well and gets the red card because, at that moment, like, we knew we were through to the semis, and that was great.
As well, like that, a moment like that, and like an FA Cup right at the very end where you score and then you take a shot. I think that needs to change. That shouldn't be a booking for me right at the very end of the game. Like it shouldn't really matter. I think it's stupid.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. It shouldn't. Hopefully. Also, we saw Dallo got sent off for like dissent at some point early in the season, right?
Versus Liverpool 2-2.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Was it nil? Yes. Yeah, nil.
The Dallo sending off was even more ridiculous because he did argue one thing that it was like some stupid thing at the corner flag or whatever, and then
he won the ball.
It was instant red, and I was like, that's never happened in the Premier League before.
No, actually, it was a double yellow for dissent.
Yeah, but it's never happened before. I was like, the fuck is this?
That's crazy.
I'm like, we know he's Portuguese. Like, we know he speaks very little English because he can't be bothered. Like, he'd rather speak in his beautiful dialect and his amazing Portuguese language, and you send them off. Like, come on.
Anyway, I don't know if they're gonna like change that because I thought they were because that would happen early in the season. I thought, this is gonna be the standard. Everybody's gonna be held to a high standard. There is no like, sorry. Let me know, Vicky, if the echo is better. Sorry, I probably messed it up. But I thought like the refereeing was gonna be so much better, but then it was so inconsistent. And whatever. We saw mancity players do a lot of dissent. I have a lot of dissent moments, and then they didn't get punished, and I was just like so disappointed with that. Thank you, Vicky. All right. So we move from that moment, whatever, versus Liverpool. We get the 1-1 draw with Brentford. And then that stoppage time moment where we thought we had won it versus Chelsea. And then Cole Palmer, 90, basically, essentially the 100th minute. And
the real
and then also 111th minute, they get a goal. That was a crazy one. I don't think that disappointment was. You remember Chelsea then was having a moment of his life that day because, I thought we had won it, but Chelsea won it 4-3. At Stamford Bridge, whatever. We move on from that moment. We play Liverpool in the league at Old Trafford, and this time around, we actually salvage a draw. I'm realizing something. Liverpool, we had that number this season. There was a 0-0 draw, 2-2 draw, 4-3
win. They beat us 7-0. The man don't want that no more. Club team is full of people that are using something. They're on drugs. They don't know what to slow down. Like, you're already winning 5-0. Stop scoring. But no, they want to keep scoring over and over. So the man we don't want them scoring. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, listen.
The caffeine was wearing off.
They ran out of
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So fine, we do that. Stephanie says Brentford away and Bournemouth away. We're about a third time unlucky versus Palace away luck right now, So yeah, I see it. All right, cool. So hopefully, let's see. Our away luck. We go to Coventry, and this time Munch.
That was a personal favorite of mine.
That was your
a
team.
horrific game.
Both your teams are playing that night.
Yeah, local team versus my team. Oh my day, that was awful.
Yeah.
That was a mix of emotions.
It was a VAR decision, man. I swear I wanted to kill someone. I was like, why? It's not even the fact it was a VAR decision. It's the fact that they let them get themselves beat anyway. like behind the line. You know what they should have done because of how they played in the second half? They should have just let Coventry go through at the FA Cup final. Because Coventry were the only team in that game that actually, even though they were losing 3-0 at half time, Coventry were the only team that generally wanted to go through. United just did what every team does when it gets to half time. You've got a big lead. United went to sleep. You should never do that against any team, even against a championship team in an FA Cup semi-final where they've got nothing to lose. They should have went in the second half and went, you know what, 4, 5, 6, 7-0. We're not going to embarrass you. We're just going to absolutely end you completely because we don't want, we know what United are like, waste a lead. We should have just kept going every chance, but no, we let them back into the game. And Coventry should have went to the FA Cup final. It was great that we won the trophy, but the wrong team was in that final.
Marge, I told that Coventry was gonna win. They were supposed to win. All they had to do was play their game. Come second half, we're already down 2-0. Let's play our game. What worse can happen? We're gonna play our game. We got here with the FA Cup. We deserve to be here. And like, boom, 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals. Offside goal. I'm like, listen, this team, whose name shall not be mentioned. I'll wait to the end.
Don't forget that Chelsea should have beaten Man City as well. There's so many chances to win that game. You know, it should have been Chelsea.
Yep, they did. It was a tired Chelsea. It was tired Man City as well that just came from Champions League. They just put 20 minutes in the Champions League. Oh my God.
I watched the highlights of their game because obviously I watched their game. Also, I watched the highlights back of the Chelsea City games. I just couldn't be arsed watching it live. And even if I watched that game live, the one thing that was really interesting was just how sus that game was. Like Chelsea's performance was actually really good. Man City were just so sus, but then they get the goal. What was it, Bernardo Silva, whoever it was that scored or something? I think it was Bernardo Silva. But it was like City, for a better part of 80 odd minutes, did absolutely nothing. And Chelsea were all over them. And you can just tell as this game goes on, if this goes towards the last 10 minutes, if it goes to extra time, City probably beat them on penalties. But then it gets to the last point and Bernardo Silva scores that sucker punch and Chelsea are like dumbfounded. I'm like, you had umpteen chances to score. I'm like, you could have done something. But I'm like, it was that point I was like, oh great, okay, so it's a rematch from last year's final.
You couldn't go by the highlights. Chelsea, City goal.
Yeah, that is the highlight. That is the highlight, exactly.
It showed me that we can be good if the players really, really, really like execute, because we had so much control in the beginning of that game that like I was so surprised. I remember it was Joe who was doing the watch along and Ronald, and like I was driving to work, right? So I could only the first part of the game I didn't see it, but everybody was just mentioning about, oh, look at how fluid we are with the ball. Look at how Marcus Rashford is tracking back. Look at, like, there was so many positives that I was like, are these guys talking about Man United, our Man United? And then like the moment I got there, I'm like, oh, everything is under control. But then check this out, Reese. I because I'm at work, I'm doing the watch along from work, and these guys started the show for me. I get called in, and the moment when I get called in, that's when Coventry just starts scoring. And then a game when I thought it was gonna end in 90 minutes, I just see us going to extra time, and then I'm checking and I see it was such a tough game to be like halfway watching when you're not, and then like the VAR decision as well that went our way, and the fact that it was decided on penalties, it was just crazy and unfair and brutal to Coventry. But hey,
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, right? That when United win that penalties, I was like, you know what? I was happy United win, but I was so good for Coventry, put so much effort just to get back into the game. Imagine if there was no VAR and Coventry actually win that game. Like the older ones. So United county chickens.
If we had lost that day, I reckon Ten Hag would have been left in London. They would have just, everyone else on the bus, Ten Hag would have been left in London. I don't know if he would have made it back.
True.
You would have went to the pub with Rashford.
Oh,
he should have stayed there as well.
Belfast, they call him sometimes.
There was one performance in that game that really stood out.
Whatever, we beat Sheffield 4-2. We draw with Burnley 1-1, and then
that was awful.
The heartbreak of the season, I guess. I think after reviewing everything as we just did, guys, the 4-0 loss to Crystal Palace was tough. It was tough to take.
You went against what team is this? You went against Prime Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, and Ronaldo Rosario in Palace, and you thought you was not gonna lose?
So let me get this straight. So let's reaffirm this.
Yeah.
Let's reaffirm this in the right way. So which one's Ronaldinho? I'm assuming that's Elise.
Oh, no, that's Eze. That's Eze.
So that's Eze. I approve that. So are you giving Ronaldo Elise? Surely. No, that's Mateta. Rivaldo has to be Elise then.
Yes, Elise got the left foot. I'll come the left foot.
Aye, except he doesn't get a ball to his knee and pretends it's his face.
Yes.
They were absolutely insane though. Like that, the three good things about that game, from a Palace perspective. One, they've got the right manager. Glasner is the perfect manager for them going forward. Back him in the summer. Palace will actually do decent next season. I think they'll finish in the top 9 if they back Glasner properly. 2, if they keep a hold of Elise and Eze, they only need another. If they're going to play those two as 2 wide 10s, they only need one more and another striker to work around Mateta, and then they need another centre back, maybe a midfielder. Other than that, Palace are going to look really good under Glasner next year.
They have another striker in Eduardo.
He's pish.
He's
pish. And that comes first time for me watching up here. Like, the guy's cooked in the Prem. Like, I think he's finished.
But by the way, they had Nathan Klein playing centre back.
No. Bold move. That Wharton is actually decent, but I don't know. I think it's too soon. He's a decent player. To be fair, when you look at the Palace team, if United had ambition and actually gave a shit, go out and get an Elise and Eze. Not one of them. Get both. Get both, because then that's 2 positions I'd actually like.
Reese, and also this kid though that Bucks is talking about, Watson.
He's all right. I'd say
real talent right there. This kid is
so premature.
Don't bring him in yet.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think you need him at all. You don't need him. You have nothing to worry about.
No, but imagine we have this thing. You know how Chelsea sometimes has so many good players on loan. You're surprised, or you forget that they own this player, Madsen. They own this player. Like, we need to sometimes buy some players and then just send them out. Like, since you don't have
to buy them. Just loan out the players you currently have. Like, there's same players in our team that should be out on loan, and they're not out on loan. Like, Dan Gold went on loan, but he was injured. Shalate got injured. Hannibal went on loan. I don't know why they agreed to him to go to Sevilla when Everton was right there. And Everton would be the easiest starter with James Garner and Onana. Who else is there? They went up with rush Harry Amaz. I don't think they should rush him. Who's this? I don't know. The other left back, Álvaro Fernandez. Listen, he's gone. The moment he touched Benfica, I knew he was gone. I knew he was gone. I'm happy. I'm happy he is gone. I am happy he is gone. They have some 2 kids in the youth system, Ethan Whitley and Ethan Williams. Ethan Williams should go out on loan. We should keep Ethan Whitley. Keep Ethan Williams, send Ethan Williams out on loan. And shout out to your team's going to come 21. Like, listen, he's not playing on the 21. He's going to compete the team.
I like that Ethan Whitley. He's good. To be fair, in the summer, I would sack off Tyrell Malacia and I'd sack off Luke Shaw. I'd promote Harry Amas and I'd get a left back.
I'll kind of say yes. Another part of me is like, nah. Luke Shaw is final year. No one's gonna buy that contract. Just let him go to free. Keep both of them. Bring up Harry Amas.
I wouldn't. Well, Harry Amas, I like. Malacia, I don't think he's ever going to amount to anything. That injury says a lot. It's never going to work. That Kerkez is decent. I actually wouldn't mind Kerkez. I think Bournemouth have got a real treat in a player there, but I would take him. Luke Shaw's finished. I'd get rid of him this summer. Like, even if I would get rid of him. I'd get rid of him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, Luke Shaw that's going to the Euros. Nah, I'll keep Luke Shaw.
He shouldn't even be in that England squad. Like, he shouldn't even be in that England squad.
Hold on a minute. Luke Shaw got selected.
Yeah,
yes,
he's
he
in
did
the
get
squad.
selected.
Oh my god! Wow,
He's done virtually nothing for Man United all season. He's
Craziness,
in that
right?
England squad. I think that's hilarious.
crazy.
Those are the point interview that we really did. We really said some players are not injured. And to me, I think it's
It's him.
specifically about Luke Shaw.
I
He
think it's
went
him.
to Wembley. He went to Wembley and he saw Luke Shaw training with the England squad. And he said, "What? Why is he training? Why is he training there? This man's not injured."
Yeah, I
Listen,
would.
it's just funny.
Yeah,
Go on.
I would absolutely take Elise and Eze, and it's because of what I said there. It's because United should act like Liverpool when it comes to being in the transfer market. When you look at players to actually build a team around, United are not in a position right now to even consider a world-class player in our squad. Like when you look at signings, we should be looking to build a team that will actually develop and compete, and then you add world-class players in, because that will at least make the team more competitive. Right now, if we took Elise and Eze into our team, you're already improving the right wing. Besides Ahmad, you've got Elise with Ahmad. That's proper competition because Antony doesn't compete with anyone except himself, who's a better fidget spinner. And Eze is, in my opinion, the natural replacement for Bruno Fernandes. I would actually have Eze with Fernandes, and then the next couple of years when Fernandes moves, you promote
What
someone
happens
in,
to
or you
Mason
bring
Mount?
someone in. I'm not sure, Mason Mount. I think Mount's decent, but I don't know. I don't know if he'll amount to anything. In my personal opinion, for us, I think he's
I
more
like
better.
what you did there.
I think he's better suited to Chelsea. Yeah, I like that phrase. I think he was better suited to Chelsea for how they are. I don't know if he'll work out for us, but I would. When you look at Fernandes, I would keep him as much as we can, another year or two, still get Eze, and then I would make Eze the natural replacement for him. That's what I would do personally.
I hear it. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button if you're just joining in. I see there's more people that are just joining in watching, but we've sidetracked into how we would like to bolster our team because we're obviously looking at that 4-0 loss to Crystal Palace. But this is pretty much our fourth last game of the season. And obviously we played Arsenal after that, lost 1-0. We played Newcastle, beat them 3-2, and then played Brighton and beat them 2-0. And right at that moment, we had the Ten Hag out rumors that, it's going to happen. He's going to get sacked right after the FA Cup final. And guess what? We're almost 2 weeks after, and he has not been sacked yet. So, but anyway, the fact of the matter is that game was outstanding. 2-1 victory to Man United at Wembley. It was such a great game to watch, and how I wish I was actually in Wembley in person. But anyway, that was a great moment to sort of end a very turbulent season, So I see the fun that you guys are having in this by the way. But let's now actually segue into the grades because I didn't want us to get too sidetracked into how we would bolster our squad. So first and foremost,
defense.
We're going to do like this. A, highest grade, no A pluses, no A minuses, no whatever. And then we're just going to pretty much just start with the goalkeepers. We have more than one goalkeeper.
So now we're rating our players for the whole season.
Yes. And because I like that there is I have 3 guests in the panel, I think we're gonna do a little bit of an average. If there's a really ridiculous grade, we'll talk about it. But let's start with you, actually, Reese, since you
Can I ask one last question before we start, if it's all right? Can I ask one last question?
Go ahead.
Am I allowed to refuse to rate any player, specific players? Am I allowed to refuse to rate them because of how awful they actually were, in my opinion?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Oh, thank God. Right, I refuse to rate Antony and Marcus Rashford. I'm sorry, I refuse to rate them.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'll rate them for you. I have special grades for those
I'll
players.
step in for you too, and mind we'll do that too. So let's get straight to it. Let's start first with
have some fun.
Our goalkeeper, Onana, and we will
go on. Wait, what did I have on my paper? What I have on my paper here?
We'll talk about.
Onana get a C for me.
Unrated. Okay.
Onana gets a C, average at best. Onana.
C.
Onana
I
gets
think
his
if you
Andre A for slow motion.
when you look at the season, like as a context, the first half of the season, generally, the first 4, 5, 6 months of the season, Onana was absolutely abysmal. Like you would definitely say, like for Rain, you would put an F. Like you would say he is that low down. Second half of the season, he really did start to show a lot better. Like obviously performances were still poor. You were still seeing the mistakes. The goal in the FA Cup final absolutely should no top. If he wants to be a top goalkeeper, you shouldn't be conceding a goal at that. You're near post. But the second half of the season, he generally was a whole lot better. So I would flip that when you say an F for the first half. The second half, I would generally say a B. So I'm going to round out and say I'm just going to round out even average and say like a D.
The average is a D or a B, you say?
Like if I'm going to do like the first half of the season was an F, the second half it was a B. I'm splitting them right down the middle, like as you
It's a
divert
D.
them, and you look at that way. So for me, it's a D, like altogether. So he gets a
All
great
right,
D from me.
Box said D, almost said C. What does Man say?
I agree with Omo. I said C.
Yeah, I want to give him. If we're doing minuses, it would have been a straight C minus from me. I feel like I'm gonna have to just settle with a C and love. I think his moment changed after that penalty save in the Champions League, and you know, post AFCON Onana was definitely different. But also we have to mention that like shot stopping is not his. It's not his forte. Even though he's a goalkeeper, but like we haven't maximized Onana's attributes or figured out how to use him really well. So I'm just gonna say C for him. Also considering he's the goalkeeper with the most who's faced the most shots in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Last time when I checked, anyway, there was one of the happy hour stats or whatever, but like it was Onana with the most saves or the most shots, something like that.
He just loved it when somebody took a shot at him.
Yeah, most shot can see. That's why I gave him a C. Like he's the reason, like FA Cup final, FA Cup semi to the final is the reason why we're there, because the penalty shootout, and also towards the end of the season we're doing well, even though shots on target the most in the league.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to Bayern Dare. You guys remember him?
F. I'll tell you why it's an F. Because he barely played. He's an F.
Absolutely.
He barely played. He played one game. The only game he played was a weekend.
Yeah. Newport, wasn't it?
Yeah, he played in the weekend game. Or the Newport. I don't know. It was one of those games.
It was one game when, frankly, he should have got the Tottenham game that Onana should never have played. He should have got the Tottenham game right before AFCON started, and he should have had the rest of that, in my opinion, like for the next 2-3 months, just let him get some time in the team. He never got anything. As harsh as it is, an F, I completely agree. If you get one game, why should you get above anything else? Especially from that circumstance. Like, he was never given any opportunity. Like, I think that's one problem with Ten Hag's stubbornness. Really lost any chance by Ender even proving himself to be a decent, reliable backup goalkeeper. He got shafted for the get-go, and that is 100% the manager's fault.
Yeah, Newport.
Yeah.
So he said it's an F or a D. I can't remember.
To be honest, I don't even want to give him a rating. Like I think giving him no rating is actually kinder.
But in the one game that he got, he conceded 2 goals versus Newport.
They were sloppy goals. They were sloppy goals as well.
It's gotta be an A for me.
Yeah. If you're not giving F, don't give him an A. Those are the 2 options.
And non-applicable.
What are you saying? What is he saying?
Did you say an A, man?
You see, you're not listening. An A.
Similar to what Stephanie said in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah. That would be kinder.
Hey, listen, I'll beat myself off the stream.
You see, you're becoming a React FC.
Oh
this man played one game. At least he was available on the bench, so give him an A.
Exactly. Okay.
I'll say this: him not playing is a choice. We'll come back to that towards the end. Tom Heaton, same thing. NA.
All right. Let's go to Dallo. Let's start with Dallo
Whoa,
first.
we're not too fast. Tom Heaton, NA.
Tom
We're going through this whole squad.
Is he a person? Is he?
He's at United. Listen, I'm counting every single player. I have a list here. Are you trying to skip? No.
Tom Heaton. What does Tom Heaton get?
NA.
Same score.
Everybody NA.
Yeah.
Hey.
I only saw him in preseason.
So he's in the squad. Him not playing is a choice. NA. Let's move on. Go more to Dallo.
He was playing that like he actually came up to the halfway line during a preseason game, you know. And I was just like, what is he doing? But I was like, must be the Onana effect. We're gonna be ball playing goalkeeper effect, you know. But all right, not applicable for a grade. All right. So all right, then we've done Tom Heaton.
What comment? Artem, what comment?
Wait. Artem says B for availability.
Get out of here, man.
Okay, all right. Let's go to Dallo. Let's start with our fullback, Dallo.
Dallo gets a B.
Dallo gets a B from Omo. What are you giving Dallo? Munch, and then we'll go to Reese and whoever's in the chat, please.
I wrote down Dallo B as well.
B for Dallo.
Mm-hmm.
That's solid. Okay, I feel like it should be a B. We don't do pluses. Yeah. Okay. What about
you? See, I knew it. I knew you were gonna do those plus and minus. I knew it. No plus and minus today.
Straight grade. One solid grade. What are you saying, Reese? Is it a B for Dallo?
He's one of two players I'm going to give the same grade for the whole season from when they played matches. Just consistently very good. Continue to improve, whether it be a right back or left back. Even when he was asked to dip into midfield, which was impressive, he added that to his game. I'm going to go one. He was for me, he was our player of the season by a landslide. Not just the players' player of the season. For me, he was our genuine player of the season. He gets an A from me, honestly. He's one of only two players that I'm giving that to. For me, he was an A.
Yeah, I'm inclined to side with Reese here. I feel like Dallo, he was outstanding. He actually, remember when we were doing the review for the games, I can't remember which game, but there's a game he scored from the left as well. And I think that also, he showed his versatility more than Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
You put me on left back, I'll do well. And there was a moment also he played versus a really, really good left winger on right back, and he did well as well. So he's easily one of our outstanding players of the season, and I think an A is not bad.
I think as well, if you go back and look at the season,
A or B.
I think there's one other thing about Dallo that really impressed me this season. If you go back and actually look at the games, even if you just look at the highlights throughout the whole season, if you look at if you look at the wingers he played against, or even sometimes again he was playing against two strikers.
Okay.
When he got beat the first time, he changed up his position in the second time, so no player would beat him the same way. He really adapted quickly to his opposition, whereas his opposite flank didn't. Dallo was a whole lot better at understanding his opponent this year compared to Wan-Bissaka, who was genuinely dreadful.
Facts. Box is saying no, nobody should get an A or B in our worst season in 40 years. Dallo is a C. Onana is a D or E. Fair enough, Box. But this is we have to look at what he was asked to do as well this season. There's so many different roles, bro, and how he's helped us as well. You know, I think Dallo is one of not everybody's gonna get a high grade like this. Stephanie says Dallo gets an A, availability, versatility, and improved ability plus leadership. He also improved as well. And that availability has to be commended as well, Box. So I think it would have been, if we're doing minuses, it would have been an A minus or a B plus, but let's be nice to Dallo and give him an A. Okay. We've done Dallo. Let's go to the next player is, should we do Wan-Bissaka? Let's go to Wan-Bissaka since we're on fullbacks. Wan-Bissaka. What is Wan-Bissaka getting? I'm going to give Wan-Bissaka. I'm going to start this one and say Wan-Bissaka for me got a D. Why?
No, he doesn't get a D.
I'm not even joking. See this season when he started messing up his tackles and like that sliding tackle he loves to do. I literally started calling him Booker T because every time he was doing it, he was doing spinneroonie. I'm genuinely sick and tired of Wan-Bissaka. He genuinely needs to go. He gets an E for me. He was one of our worst players all season.
It was and individually for him, Omar, I know you disagree. Well, yeah, why you disagree, but I want to add on to what Reese is saying and say like there's a penalties that he caused. There's moments also where like you could fine in the FA Cup. I want to give him this. He calmed Doku down. Like there was only one moment.
He did that, but it's as you said, like the mistiming of his tackles, the stupid penalties he was giving away, his positioning was dreadful in around the box. He was getting beat easily behind his man, and he's the best 1v1 fullback in the Premier League or whatever. It's clearly still Kyle Walker because Kyle Walker doesn't make those same mistakes that Wan-Bissaka does. It's genuinely showing elements to his game where he isn't maturing in that way. I don't think it works for him at all. And when you ask him to be a progressive fullback, you've got more luck. You've got more luck.
This is why I give him a C because
like that cross that he gave to Garnacho. Omo, can you please defend Wan-Bissaka? Let's hear your position.
I give him a C because this whole thing like being progressive. Let's say he's not progressive. He's never gonna be progressive. He's gonna be a defensive fullback. That's his game. If you try to do something else, that's an extra that he cannot do, and he will fail there. And I will expect him to fail there. Him running up with the ball, you cannot do that. Him doing inverted, what Dalo does, he cannot do that. He's gonna fail. Him playing left back, he's going to fail.
Question for you, Omo. This is what I think. I've generally thought of this for well over a year. I don't think he should be used as a fullback. I actually think he'd be a lot better as a right-sided centre back.
Oh, absolutely. In the back three, just put him there.
Yeah, I think he'd be a whole lot better in that than he would be out wide. Because when you look at nowadays for a fullback, it's not just about being creative. Again, like there are like defensive fullbacks and all that, but in the modern game, it's so heavily influenced by you've still got to be able to get up the field. Even when he does get up the field, he isn't offering anything.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, which is crazy because he used to be a winger apparently for Palace, but he clearly had no creative spark at all. But in a defensive situation with his recovery pace and his ability to track back and his positioning, when he isn't exposed, he's actually decent. I'll give him that. But too many times this often this season where he was given he was making those crucial errors and it went against us. And I just can't overlook that stuff.
Can we get a little bit of balance? Let's hear what Manch says, because in the chat it feels like Wan-Bissaka is getting a C. But what is Manch saying?
Yeah.
Disclaimer: I wrote this at 7:15, so I'm gonna say Wan-Bissaka gets a C.
Can you say why he deserves a C instead of a D?
No, because I was just waffling. Just call it a C and let's move on.
Let's call it a C and move on.
I gotta be honest, I don't want to waffle. You know what I mean? So
Wan-Bissaka, I feel like we're being too nice. But anyway, all right. C for Wan-Bissaka and a lot of defensive mistakes. Let's go to my
listen. There's gonna be a D in here. Then you'll see why Wan-Bissaka deserves a C. There's a D in here, but go on.
I'll say I want to summarize our discussion on him and say like he regressed a little bit, slight regression, slight personal regression. Basing on what we normally expect from Wan-Bissaka. I've never seen him miss a one-on-one tackle, a sliding tackle like that. Like that. That was This was not his best season for me, and I'm a big fan of Wan-Bissaka. I love Spider-Man, and I believe he has potential, but this wasn't his best season.
No, I agree. I think if we were a purely defensive side, like not a team that looks to be expansive, like generally sits back and will counter whatever, we stay back with a 3-man defence because a fullback will stay back whilst the rest go forward, then Wan-Bissaka would be in the best place for him. Like, but when you look at the team in general, it's how we want. If you want to be a expansive team and you want to be aggressive, pushing forward, and you want to attack more than being attacked. Funnily enough, you want to be more on the offense. He ain't somebody you want to build a team around. But if you want somebody who will do a defensive job in a game where you have to be defensive, I've got no issue with that when it comes to him. Especially
Man City final.
Yeah,
you saw the best of Wan-Bissaka that day. Man City final.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. While we're still on fullbacks, let's go to Mr. Luke Shaw.
Non-existent. Non-existent. Time to go. This has to be his final.
Luke Shaw have 12 appearances, so I'm giving him a D.
D. Yeah, you have to give him a grade, Reese. Like, I feel like,
12 appearances, he got a D, and I think Luke Shaw appearances, I think he has seven wins with that. So I give him a D for that. I give him a D just for that.
I'm
there
are
F's in here, by the way. There are F's in here, but go on.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him a flat E because there's only one F for us this season. There's only one player's going in F, in my opinion.
No, there's multiple.
Yeah, but in terms of what I can think of, I'm only actually unless you're. Yeah, we'll get to them. In terms of his availabilities, performances, I generally think he's the player that Wayne Rooney especially was talking about. Like I think it was Luke Shaw. It just further highlights he is never going to be reliable. He's never going to be fit. If you want to be a team pushing forward for the major trophies consistently, he shouldn't be part of it, in my opinion. Like if any offer comes in this summer, 20 million's enough, sell him.
Get him out. But look at how hopefully he can use the Euros as a training back in shape, get his match sharpness back in, and listen, Reese, I know you're shaking your head, but we need a left center back. Somebody who's played it before. If Ten Hag stays, Luke Shaw does not start from ground zero. If he plays left center back.
Don't mention that man's name. Don't mention that man's name.
All right.
But let's continue.
I just think it's the right stage where I don't think he's going to overcome his injury problems at United. I don't think he's going to be available long enough for us where we see it every season, and there's the same people who will be saying the same thing about like the amount of times we kept the likes of Phil Jones, for example, or any other player was on the injury table that long.
Yeah,
I've had the same energy for them as I've had for Luke Shaw. Like if you're so unavailable for so many games, Arsenal done it to Danny Welbeck. He was on the injury list for near a whole season. He got back into the team, I think, for Arsenal, and then he scored a couple of goals. He got injured against Arsenal. We're not renewing your contract. They just let him go. I'm like, it sounds horrible, it sounds harsh, but United need to be as brutal as it comes to that. Like, I think we need to be equally as brutal if we want to.
Luke Shaw has 1 more year in his contract. I think he goes for free next year.
I'd just sell him this summer. I would.
If anybody want to come for him, because I think his contract is 200 or 250 a week.
Yeah.
Nobody want to pay that. Just let him take it free.
Yeah.
Been here a while. Incredible. I don't know how he's playing.
10 years.
11 years. 10? I thought it was 11.
He's been here 10 years. Martial's just done 9 years. This is Marcus Rashford's 10th season as well. I've had 9th season. Sorry. Yeah. Marcus Rashford's 9th season. Luke Shaw's 10th.
Pain.
God.
Who's the next to play on the list? F. Don't do that.
Nice.
Hey,
nice hairstyle for the final.
F.
Hey, we found him at the final.
Oh, come on, leave Malacia alone. Which game did he play in?
He was injured. F.
He was weird with Malacia.
A Z for availability. For what? For availability. Oh, inavailability. Okay, I get it. Let's go to Lindelof. Let's go to Victor
D.
Lindelof. I
D.
think Manj gave Lindelof D. Am I right, Manj?
I gave Lindelof maybe a bit soft. Lindelof. I've gone for C minus.
You see, I gave him a D. I gave him a D.
No pluses.
I like Lindelof. I'm also giving him a D.
No minus. D. No Diddy.
A D. Like Drex. A D for Drex. Shout out to Admiral Drex in the house.
Listen. I wrote all my grades down, so I'm not backing off.
Okay.
To be fair, I'm doing mine as we go. So I'm coming in live. This is my natural reaction.
I'll change mine so much now. Watch.
So
Lindelof is a D for me.
Drex went with a D for Lindelof. Omo, what was your score and what was Reese's grade?
Ain't no reason. He's a D.
Yep.
D. He played left back poorly, doing overlap. What is wrong with you?
Andy was poor when he played centre back. I like Lindelof, but it's time to move him on.
Yeah, and he got us one winner this year. So he got the only goal in a specific game. I forgot what game it was. I think it was the Luton 1-0. He got the goal in there, so he gets a D. Thank you for your services. You're not good enough.
D or D? I keep on hearing B.
D.
Wow. D for Drex.
No,
okay.
Listen. In this whole defense, no one gets a B in it. That's it. The B is done for defense. I went for midfield.
To be fair, there's an interest. There is one in there where somebody's actually gave Maguire a
Lindelof grade.
D for me.
Okay, I think it's a unanimous D. All right. Reese, lead us for Maguire. What are you saying, Maguire?
Well, I do understand Jarl's comments where he says Maguire, what a season that guy had. He says an A or a B. To be fair, I'm not a fan of Maguire. He again encapsulates my point, similar to Wan-Bissaka, where if you want to be a team that wants to be progressive and wants to be constantly on the attack, he has a good pass on him, but he isn't really somebody that I think is somebody you can build around. If he stays, he should be 4th or 5th choice centre back. Like, he shouldn't be the 1st to 3rd choice, is my opinion. But there were times where he generated some good games. It's just in mentality, I think he does have a good mentality, but it's just overall for me, he's the epitome of United as a slow team, not somebody you want to be quick and transitional, but also dominate the ball.
Yeah.
I think also he's playing the wrong position. You could play him in a holding midfield role as a passer, and he actually works well, better than a centre back where you need speed. For him, though, I'll give him a C. I don't think he had a bad season at all. I thought it was all right, and that's as far as I'll go.
I agree with that. I also have C on my list.
A C?
He had an average season. He was bad here and there, but he also was good here and there. So he was average. It was average.
Come on, we're being too harsh on Maguire, guys.
No, what you mean being too harsh? So what? Hold on. What grade do you want to give him? A B? Who are the B on this list right here? We haven't come to the B yet.
It's a light B, like it's a generous B.
A but
no.
Even Admiral saying strong C.
That sounds like a B plus to me, bots. Mm-hmm.
Admiral says C. Maguire.
Let's hear the Admiral spoke. Okay, I think all right. We'll settle for a C then.
He wasn't our worst centre back. I'll give him that.
Because that means he had the same season as Wan-Bissaka. You see what I'm saying, Reese? You see my problem?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I tried to. That's why I gave Wan-Bissaka a D. I got outvoted. By democracy, I got outvoted. But I think when you look
guys,
at it,
we have to review this. We can't give Maguire a C and Wan-Bissaka a C. Like Wan-Bissaka.
Yes, we can. They both had an average season this year. You're trying to accumulate everything they've done in their career. This year, they both got a C.
McTominay's a flat.
Bro, like as a defender, Maguire has contributed offensively. A major contribution.
Yes. Yeah, when he talks, he is offensive.
Yes, but he has also been there when we played bad as well. Like you're not just gonna skip that over.
I know.
You are like I will say this though, my man, you're absolutely correct. Maguire this season has contributed offensively. He has spoken too many times. When he talks, he's offensive.
Facts.
All right. We'll move on from Maguire then. Fine. Let's go to Licha Martinez.
Yes, a D. You're not available. Is that the same grade I give Luke Shaw? Yeah, D. You're not available.
Yeah.
Like the guy's great. Like when he is fully fit, he is our best defender. But he was nowhere near this season. Hopefully, he has a better season next year, and he's got like better fitness. Hopefully, the medical staff is a whole lot better. But at the moment, we're not really sure. I do agree with that. He was great in the final. Beside Varane, they were very composed. They complement each other really well. But if you're basing off one game, excellent. But if you're basing over a whole season, the injury from last year, it maintained into this year, but it kept coming up. He was getting bullied as well in certain games when he did play before he even got injured. He got bullied really easily, and I was like, that's not like him, and that worried me a little bit. So for that alone, I'm the exact same. D. I love the guy as well, though. I think he's best centre back.
D for Martinez. What grade did you give him, Omo?
Oh, same thing. A D. Same grade I show. He had 11. Licha had 11 appearances here. Shaw had more than him. 12.
Manj, what did you give him? A D or a C?
I had C, but I'm going to change it to D because of the availability and injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I know this might sound harsh. But for every player who had a very bad injury record this season, they're all getting D or below. They're not even getting considered for anything above that. I don't think they warrant that.
Okay.
I know it sounds harsh, but that's my...
Licha, but he deserves honorable mention for what he did in the final, like the balance he brought. And I think he got injured versus Arsenal. But prior to the games before Arsenal, I didn't really feel like he particularly stood out in a crazy way. But anyway, whatever. Let's leave him alone and go to Johnny Evans. What are you saying for Johnny Evans? Manj, you want to lead the way on this one?
I passed the ball to Reece or Omer. I haven't got a grade for this one.
This is going to sound a little bit madly controversial for me. Johnny Evans, for me, gets a B. I actually think for the whole season, he was by far our best centre-back. Even at 35 years old, he was actually very reliable, very consistent in his games. Lack of pace was evident, but he made no real mistakes in games as far as I can remember. Everyone he came up against, he actually played well, and it was nice that he still got on for the cup final. I think he deserved that. Whether he plays next year, I don't think he should be in the squad next year. I think he should be coaching the under-23s in a defensive role, defensive coach for the young lads. I think that's a really good step up. But throughout the whole season, Dallo was our player season for me. Johnny Evans was our best centre back in that whole position where we really needed that confidence and that assurance. He gave that to me in a nutshell, and his progressive passes were very important as well upfield. Don't think you can really get away from that. So yeah, all honesty, Johnny Evans for me gets a B.
I'll give Johnny Evans a C.
Oh, why a C? He's the sad C.
There's some games you could have. What is that?
You're saying he had the same season as Maguire and Onana, Johnny Evans?
Yes. What are we doing here?
Look at Box's comment though. That's absolutely spot on though.
What is it?
The City and Chelsea games. When he came off against City and Chelsea, we got absolutely ruined.
We crumbled. I feel like that's disingenuous, Omo. Come on, be serious.
My grade, I'm trying to be fair, but it comes down to one man of why their grade is 1 point below. Why all their grade is 1 point below.
Reese says B. I say B. Manj, almost says
C.
He had 23 appearances, 15 starts. So do that number as you please.
True.
Manj, what's your? Can you help us average out, bro? Come on.
It's very difficult to separate these grades because sometimes the players play good, sometimes the players play bad. So it's a bit of a sticky one, No Diddy, but
Man's trying
yeah.
Gattuso without swearing. I actually applaud this.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
So what are you saying? You give Johnny Evans a proper grade that he deserves. Stephanie said B. Drex said C plus. We're not doing pluses or minuses, Drex. It's either a C or B. What are you saying, man? Help us average it out.
Just give him the B because you're gonna fight us either way.
Bro,
So this is great I will allow.
It sounds like so harsh to give Johnny Evans, who's been probably our best defender all season, the same as Wan-Bissaka, the same as
He hasn't
Maguire.
put a foot wrong. I don't think he's
That's
put a
true.
foot wrong all season.
There's a reason why I'm allowing because there's one grade that I won't pass through, and there's no fighting about it, and that's what's gonna happen. And you're gonna put beside it in that yellow column that almost decided this grade. We can't do nothing about it. There's gonna be dictatorship on that grade. But let's
Last
continue.
Manager.
Before we get to him, last one, Kambwala.
Hold on, where's Varane?
D.
Varane.
Varane is sleeping.
Varane is C. Kwambala is a D. Let's move on. Both French people.
Saudi.
Kambwala is a
Yep,
D.
I completely agree with both of them. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
Let me see anybody that
Varane,
has a
sayonara too.
difference of opinion. Okay, Kambwala, yeah, there was a few costly mistakes.
Costly. The whole Bournemouth game is him.
Oh, fuck off.
You saw what Solanke did?
To forget.
You saw what Solanke did after the Garnacho first poor touch?
Yeah, I gotta say as well, like, there, when Kambwala played in the Bournemouth game, right?
That's his first start.
Yeah, this is gonna sound so harsh, but it's a reality, right? But I'm Scottish, so I'm making it relatable. The scene in Braveheart before he gets killed, and he's asked to make a choice to either beg for mercy or whatever, and he decides to shout freedom. Kambwala didn't show any attacker no mercy at all. He didn't do any Johnny Lawrence. He didn't do his John Creese impersonations. No, he did a Braveheart William Wallace, and he shouted freedom, and he got exposed. So yeah, absolutely, man went from Cobra Kai to absolute rubbish. But he's got a good future. I think he's a decent player. But
oh yeah, he is good. He just that day he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Man went from
every cameo he had on as a sub was good.
Okay, let's move on to so Varane. We just said he was good in the final. Anything else to add about Varane's performance?
Varane is a C.
Okay, it's a C.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely Willie, says Stephanie.
Varane is comfortably see you later.
Comfortable C. All right. We're done with our defenders. Let's move on to our midfield, starting with Scotty. Good boy, Scotty.
D.
Scotty Comedy.
No. Name not be harsh. He gets a C.
Oh God.
He gets a C.
Yeah, I'm personal season.
Let me tell you why. In the league, somebody said that he provided 12 points for us in that table. Scott McTominay single-handedly provided us 12 points, so that's why he gets a C. And that's it. And I'm leaving it at that. That's it. I have nothing else.
Yeah. But this is going to be interesting because obviously he is adopted Scottish. I mean, he's no Scottish. He was born in England, but he plays for Scotland, so I need to be kind here. So goal scoring wise, this season he definitely went from a D to a B in terms of finishing, in terms of goals he scored. Definitely improved on that. As an overall season, however, he still has the same issues where he will go 1 or 2 games where he plays all right, and then he goes 7, 8, 9 games in a row where he is absolutely wasted. He's a ghost. That level of consistency is why you cannot even have him as a trusted squad player, let alone a starter. For me, he is a lower level championship player at best. He ain't somebody I would rely upon, but some of those goals were decent. I'm gonna say, you know what? For the hell of it, it's again. This is my own natural reaction. I'm just being honest. He gets an E.
An E.
Yeah.
That's
Reese.
There's no
I
E.
believe in honesty. I will always be honest.
Reese, this is Reese.
Is there no way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause, Michael.
I have cause. It is because I hate him.
I love that guy.
That's ready.
But Reese, Eriksen understand because again, when Scott time doesn't score, he provides you nothing.
But it says a lot.
But those goals he scored were all crucial goals. Every last one of them.
He can score goals, but he does nothing else. If he just wants to score goals and just play him as a striker, then again, you're already screwed. But in terms of like actual contributions to the team, yeah, I am. When you're talking about the whole genuine performances that he gives, when you really matters most, yeah, defense wins you titles, goals win you games, but the midfield controls the whole tempo of a match. He genuinely sucks. And no, he didn't, Box. No, he freaking didn't. No, he freaking did not. Don't even start. The genuine point behind him is he ain't good enough. He is not Man United material. He is Championship at best. The lower level maybe is a bit harsh, but I don't care. It's all about telling the truth.
All right. I feel like an E is really harsh. Let's give him a D or a C. Can we settle on a grade really quickly and move on from McTominay? I think Manj gave him a C. Omo, what are you giving him?
I said a C. He gave us 12 points.
Okay, C. He gave us 12 points. I feel like C is the democratic grade here. Unless you strongly want to back your case again, Reese, but I feel like a C is.
I will raise my E to a D, but that's as far as I'm going.
Okay, for you, just so you know, it's a C minus, but we're not doing minuses, but we'll leave it at a C. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's move on from McTominay and go to Amrabat. Let's start with Amrabat, actually.
Amrabat gets a D.
Why does Amrabat get a D, Omo?
He started playing football at
Game 36.
Amrabat minor after game week 36 was Arsenal, Newcastle, Brighton, City. Those 4 games where you saw Amrabat the end.
Yep. I mean, to be fair, Emma, didn't they all start doing that after game week 36?
Listen, there's one grade I'm fighting for that it took game week 36 for us to play football.
Mainly, wasn't
it?
Yep. First time they both played together. They could have played earlier. The manager said no as a choice. Well, let's continue.
When he played him at left back, regardless, he was already doomed. Lone player or not, left back was the death sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, the manager said he could play. The manager said he could play left back, so we put him there. The next 2 games.
Oh yes, the manager went through all his data of his past games. Let's see what positions you've played. Oh, you played left back once. Yes, you can do the job.
He played left back when Grand Eagles or Utrecht.
Yeah.
There's blood on his hands. Let's continue with this grade. I can't wait.
Okay. All right. I have to shout him out for the FA Cup display, though. That was incredible. What he did.
Yeah.
All right. C from Stephanie. Box gave Amrabat a C. Box says Moroccan John Shelby.
Get out of
Wow.
here, man.
Wow. That's harsh.
That's harsh. Jack says a circumcised D.
Hey, yo.
That's too funny, Jack. All right. Let's move on from Amra business and let's go to Eriksen first. Eriksen before we get to Bruno. What about Eriksen? Manj, can you
D.
D, man.
D.
He should have been a squad player from the jump, but that's I've never he was there. D.
He was asked to play the Iron Man role too many times, but he didn't have the right heart. He didn't have the right machine between his heart and his chest plate. It wasn't there, so He was fried. So yeah, D.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I know you were joking, Bucks. I know you were joking, but that was a funny one. Jonjo Shelby of Morocco. Yeah, Eriksen is time to go, but Pass is best
Massively.
by now. I feel like we all agree on that. In
It's
terms of regression, he probably had one of the bigger regressions in the squad, I think,
kind of
for me.
sucks though.
We
It
leave
kind of sucks.
Eriksen
There's one thing about
alone. Let's go to
there is
our
one thing about
captain,
Eriksen though.
Magnifico Bruno.
There is one thing about Eriksen I'd like to say as well, and this is a bit unfortunate. Like, obviously, when he went to Italy and he was absolutely fantastic playing in that deeper role, but it's kind of stupid that Eriksen, for 2010, 2011 until he left the Premier League, like when he went to Italy, he was generally one of the best number 10s in the league. We also had another one in Wata. We never even put him in a position where he'd be more effective. Like, I know Fernandes is a 10, but I think if you played Fernandes deeper and Eriksen a 10, you would have seen a whole lot better at Christian Eriksen, especially his creative influence in midfield.
Right, Reese. I never understood that, especially those games that were struggling at the beginning of the season. It's like, the City game when Eriksen started. It's like, why are we asking? I remember like one of the highlights this season when Phil Foden just skipped past. No, was it Saka or Foden?
To be fair, he got rinsed by both.
Yeah, probably got rinsed by both, actually, when you think about it. But it's just so disheartening and heartbreaking to see the jump from grace.
I think he would have been great. I think he would have been so much better in a 10 role, especially against those sides that play too deep. His passing's brilliant. He would have been able to pick those passes out from a 10 position. Fernandes running up and down like a bloody chicken would have done fine, especially with a composed player like Mainu. Like, I would have liked a midfield like that. Mainu, Fernandes behind Eriksen. I would have preferred that a whole lot more.
Pity we didn't see that one at all. So in terms of goals, I think he only had maybe one goal in the Premier League for us.
One, yeah.
And that's pretty poor. And also, let me see if he has any proper assists for Man United. I think he's got 2 assists for Man United in the Premier League. Not really looking good for Eriksen. Guys, let's move on from Eriksen. Let's go to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, Capitan. Munch, what was your prediction for Bruno?
Give me A. That's the A. That's the last of the A's. It's done.
That's an A from Omo?
Yeah.
A.
That's the last of the A.
Not for me.
This is totally crap.
Listen. You're ready for
one
that
more
one.
for me. There's one more from me.
What are you saying, Reese? Can you help almost see the light with Eriksen?
I'm not you mean Fernandes?
I mean, with Bruno Fernandes, pardon me, not Eriksen.
Genuinely, I'm going to go one further. I'm going to say both Bruno Fernandes and Kobe Mainoo are both grade A's. Like, for me, like, they were by far our best midfielders all season, consistently when they played. Fernandes, obviously, the goal numbers weren't as high as the past couple of years, but his chance creation, he was the best in the league. Assist-wise, he was up there. He was still his bitchy self, but he was generally leading this team where it really mattered. When we really need him, he came up clutch. And again, it just shows that he's played nearly 300 games for the club, and his numbers are consistently high. You cannot really stop this man. And it's his first time this season, he's actually missed a game due to injury. Like, you really cannot stop him. He is genuinely one of the fittest players we've got in the team. And if we do lose the guy, it will be hard to replace a player like him. When you look at it, I think when you look at every individual factor, giving him less than an A is an injustice. And the same for Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo was outstanding when he played, and the fact that he mugged off the Man City midfield in the cup final. He mugged off Liverpool in the game at Old Trafford in the FA Cup as well. Consistently, his improvements throughout the season after he was injured as well. He would have started the season if he wasn't injured. Like, in general, Kobe Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes are both grade A's for me, and after that, that's the last one for me. Like, they're the only 2 left.
Wow. Other people
and
in the chat.
You're spot on. R10 is spot on. The drop off. It is mental when he doesn't play. Like, we don't like if Mason Mount, you put him in the number 10 position when he's fit, He doesn't do anything. We physically have to bring on Fernandes when he needs a rest to get a result. And that says a lot about our team. Everything goes around him. He is the fulcrum of this team.
Okay.
He's basically
Okay.
he's like
Hey,
the best. He's like Frank.
there's only one reason why.
He's like Frank Lampard when Chelsea were absolutely shocking under Villas-Boas before he got sacked. They relied on Frank Lampard to bail him out with goals or get an assist. We rely on Bruno Fernandes to bail us out consistently.
Okay. You sold me. Okay, all right, cool. I think the first third of the season it wasn't that particularly outstanding, but you know he made up for it as the season went on, and I gotta shout out that assist. Oh, that assist in the FA Cup final. That's season
Beautiful.
probably.
Top draw assist.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. I have to commend that one. It was out of this world. And also maybe actually Antony also had a very nice assist for Garnacho, the outside the foot one versus Chelsea. But Bruno, for the significance, for the occasion, Bruno gets the assist of the season for me. All right, let's go to Maino. Kobe Maino.
Give me A. Let's move on. We're moving on. Give me A.
Last
Main event.
Just give me A. We move on to the next player.
There's only 3 A's in this team. Dallo, Fernandes, Mainu.
Give Manu A. We are moving on. There's one player I want to attack.
I actually think this as well. This is the last thing on Kobe Maino I wanted to say. See, when Bruno Fernandes eventually does go, I actually would give Kobe Maino the captain's armband. The way he conducts himself on the field, he behaves like a mature player, like who's like 26, 27 already, even though he's nowhere near that age. He plays like that level of maturity already. For me, he actually is the next Man United captain. Either him or Martinez, if he can stay fit.
It's all up to one person make that phone call.
Yep,
I hear it. Okay. Then we did Kobe Maino. Did we do Mason Mount? While we're in the midfielders.
Yeah. Move on.
Let's move on.
Move on from Mount.
Listen, this grade is not hard. It's very easy. You get an F. We move on.
F.
If you want to give him a special grade, that's on you. I already said mine.
Yeah.
Mate, his Mount's best performance was in that leaving video for Chelsea. That's what it was.
Really, Mason Mount gets an F. I think. Oh, guys, don't you remember when he came in as a sub and
I said an F. You remember that? Do you remember that he's the reason why for the first goal versus Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final? Give him an F. Listen, the bad outweighs the good. Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
So every good you bring up, that's the only good you can bring up. He scored that one goal versus Brentford or Bournemouth and they equalized back. Listen, there's nothing you can do about this man. It's over.
I think one thing I'll say though, and this is, I think for the amount of money we spent, I think I can see why you'd give him an F. I actually understand that. The amount of money we spent on him, considering it was the last year of his contract, we got rinsed by Chelsea. Chelsea are very good at that. I mean, they got 130 odd million for Eden Hazard with 1 year left on a contract. In terms of Mason Mount, I was about to say it, but Box has already done it for me. Mason Mount actually turned the game around when we played Liverpool as well in the FA Cup. Like, he changed the game for us. I think
want to give him a D?
I'm giving him a D. Yeah, I think.
Okay, give him a D then.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
What I will say,
grade anyway. So,
what I will say though is next year, like for next season onwards, if he really wants to justify the price tag and being in this team, we need at least 15 goals in the league and we need at least 20 assists. We need to see justification of him as a creator because he can create. There's no excuse for him to do that if there's a better team around him, especially from the defence pushing up and also the midfield base. If he plays in the number 10 role in certain games, he must deliver. If he doesn't, he must be.
I like this. So we come down to one man and one man only.
No, it's for me, Reese. I'll be honest with you. If Mount was free, I would be like, no problem. Mount, cool, whatever. but it's because of the price tag that still irks me. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. I thought the value was absolutely shocking. I thought when we were going to sign, I was like, all right, Mason Mount is going to sign us, 30-40 million. You still could have got James Maddison as well, potentially, before you went to Tottenham. I think they were the only two, if you're looking at English number 10s. But then, obviously, Eze kicked on, and obviously, Eze's just surpassed the two of them.
Yeah.
But when you look, I was like, we've really overspent on him. He has to deliver. He generally didn't do enough. He really needs to do a whole lot better next year. So I completely see why the boys gave him an F, and that hard to agree on it. But that cup,
I think F is really harsh, but we'll settle with a D because he had some good as well. All right, let's keep it moving. Mount started the group chat, says R10, and Buck said Mount came on as the bridge and played well if it wasn't for the clowns around him. And also the other part, somebody mentioned that, the game versus Liverpool, he was really good as well. Mount played 20 times versus Amrabat playing 30 times. Incredible that he played 20 times.
There is one good thing about Mount, though. There is one good thing about him besides his versatility, is he is a very hard-working professional. When you see him come on, like if he comes on as a sub or even starts the game, by the end of the time he looks genuinely knackered. Like he does not running or working. He genuinely will press you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's kind of like
Havertz way better season, Stephanie. It's Havertz 4, Mason Mount 1. I think that's the scoreline in terms of those two guys comparing them.
The Havertz could potentially tie 1-1 this summer if he goes and wins the Euros.
True.
And I think he might. I think he will, to be honest. I'll just say that right now for everybody.
All right, let's go to Uncle Carlos Casemiro.
Carlos.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
D.
He got hit by the Ten Hag.
Availability is why he gets a D.
That man has literally just went and signed for another club that he became a president of because he's already just shown like he's finished. One of the best Brazilian players that I've seen. I'll grant him that he is one of the best Brazilians I've seen after from 2014 onwards. Developed wise, outstanding position. Yeah. I know we had to at times play him at centre back over versatility, but when we put him at centre back, it immediately showed the decline in him because he was asked to a different role. He was midfield, he suits it so much better. And there's some holding midfielders or whatever can play as a centre back. He can't do that. He's not like a Fernandinho who you can put a defensive midfield into centre back and he's calm and it works. Casemiro looked absolutely screwed when he got put at centre back. It was an awful choice by the manager. I think the manager should have tried Amrabat. I think it would have been a whole lot better, especially because he's got legs on him. Casemiro in midfield with legs, he can do a whole lot more. This season, he was exposed massively. I really want to say E because I'm like when it comes to these players, I'm always honest with my range. I really want to say E, but I think that would be harsh to him. I think that would be harsh to say that, considering the fact that again availability is massive. He's at least been there when we needed him. Yeah, and he has scored some very crucial goals. For that alone, I'll give him a D. But
that's true. Yes, the Champions League goals as well. Actually,
but it's definitely time for him to go. We really do need to replace him, not with one player, but two. We need two midfielders for his position alone so we can push Kobe Mainoo into a number 8 role where I believe he should be.
Got it. All right, let's move on from Casemiro and go to Diallo. Amad Diallo. All right, what do you say about Amad, guys?
He scored one of my favorite goals all season. I saw him live like that.
With a B, right, man?
I went with a B, one of the United bright sparks this season. Very good.
I'm giving Amad Diallo a D.
Stephanie, get out of here with your sentimentality. Okay, you said a B?
No, I gave him a D.
Never got enough games.
Is that what I have here? Yes, Amad Diallo gets a D.
Diallo was better than Mason Mount. Come on. His season was better than Mount's. Come on.
How many games did he play? Was he impactful in all those games? He didn't get the chance because he was not put in a position to get those chances. He only had a chance 2 games, and that's it. The Liverpool game, I forgot that this game.
I think the crazy thing as well is there's times this season where Fernandes could have rested where Amad, because he scored He scored 7 goals in 9 appearances for Sunderland.
Oh
as a
no!
number
Wait!
10.
We are saving
We
that.
should
We
have
are
tried
saving
that.
that. That is a choice. That is a choice.
I like the idea of him as a rotation in the number 10 role if he's not out wide, because he does get goals and assists from that position. He's done it at Sunderland against very good
Yes,
opposition.
I love it. I would love him there.
Yeah, but I think right down the middle, I'm gonna go right in the middle of Mange and Omo on that one. I'm actually going to give him a C. I was, like I said, I was at the game against Liverpool in the Cup. He was outstanding, literally for the whole way. I think he should have got more starts in the league, especially over Antony. There was games where Antony really was just taking minutes because of his price tag, and I think I don't care if you're a £5 million player, a free agent, or a £90 million player. If you're not justifying anything in games, you shouldn't be starting, especially if somebody's there who's actually done really well when they've come on and played. Every time Ahmad came on, he really tried to at least make an impact in the games. The Liverpool game was the game where he really showed and got his break. The goal was exquisite. His link up with Garnacho worked really well. That I think next year, honestly, and I know a lot of people would say no start Rashford. I would start next season Fernandes in the 10 role with Rashford on the bench as an impact sub. I play Haaland on through the middle. I play Ahmad on the right, and I play Garnacho on the left. That would be my front four next year. I have more excitement from that than anything else because they actually work well together. It's a perfect blend. But I think in terms of games he didn't play, I think that's why Olmo has given him a D because again he got very amount of games, but when he did play though, he was one of our better players.
Yep.
He's well and truly now surely earned a chance to be in the starting 11. Ten Hag, I know a lot of people they use it as a popular phrase on social media. Blood in his hands. He has blood for not giving this guy more opportunities. I don't know why he didn't do it. He should have.
Reese, don't talk about Ten Hag. We're saving for the end.
Don't worry, I've got a lot more. I've got a lot more for the manager. Don't worry.
Thank you. I would love to hear everything. I'd love to hear every single bit.
Shout out to Luen who's making dinner. Let us know what's for dinner, Luen. Yale just had some spaghetti with meatballs, as always, and with tomato sauce. Added cold cucumber to the dish to get some greenery in there. Nice, Yale. You need
part Italian, part German, so I'm happy with that.
Who we talking about next? Who's on the next on the list?
Mr. Now Gone. Well, he's gone, so bye. F. He's already left the club.
Forcing us an F.
Wait, did he do anything positive at all?
He didn't do anything this season.
Well, he did one positive. If you want to count this, he gave Ahmad the assist versus he gave Minor the assist versus Wolves, but that's about it. Move on. He gets an F. He gets an F. He's done more bad than good. I mean, it's not even his fault that he's not playing well. Like, listen, you're not ready. He was never ready. This whole time he was here, Ahmad was on the bench. Oh, this man has blood on his hand. We are moving on to the next player. The next player is Anthony. Anthony gets an F. Anthony gets an F. Actually, you know what? I'll give Anthony a D. I'll give Anthony an E. Because at one time he had to play left back, he played left back. So he F plus. This is the one time I'm using the plus.
Anthony needs a special grade. Anthony needs a special grade. Anthony needs a very special grade that's called fuck off.
F plus. He's the only player I give F plus to. You gotta give whatever grade you want.
He better be the first player sold.
Comeback versus Liverpool. Yo. He
played well left back, I'll give him that.
Yeah, that's how I give him an F plus. Hey, what you want to do? Give him an E or D? What do you want to do, Pop? It's up to you. But listen, there'll be a grade I'm gonna fight for. So I'm ready.
There's an important part of punditry this year. I think it was Roy Keane. Somebody can correct me. It might have been Roy Keane. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But there was commentary where he was asked to fill in. He was asked to fill in at left back. This wasn't the Liverpool game. This was something else. He was asked to fill in at left back because the manager asked him
commentary.
to play. That was it. Sorry, yeah. He was asked to fill in at left back because the manager really needed it, and all you saw was him shirking his shoulders, and he wasn't even interested. He wasn't even bothering to do any work. And
he went to Rashford. Rashford said, "You gotta do what you gotta do."
He was genuinely pissed with Antony because of the fact that he just did not care for it. Like, so if,
Yeah.
I also think he came on at the 89th minute as well. That's why I could see why he's upset.
Yeah.
Yo.
But even so, if you're asked to do a position, you've got to do something. Yeah, that's
That is
true.
true.
He was outscored by slabs.
Let's say I don't care for GA. GA is just my word. He's at the point McTominay will be our best player. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I think he'd be good.
Casemiro
Crazy.
are gonna have more goals than you in the league. Then yeah. Okay. All right.
I actually think for Antony, he would suit really well as a wing back role in a back three system. As an attacking, actually, I can't really say that because he doesn't really attack. But in a wing back role where he's up and down the field, because he brings a lot of energy, he doesn't stop running. As a
He
wing
cannot
back,
invert. Just put him on the left side and cross. Look at Alfie Doughty.
Yeah, as that perspective, he would generally do a whole lot better. Like as a wing back, he would generally work. As a
Who's
fullback,
the next player on the list?
Sorry for
D.
Rashford.
That D.
Okay, Marcus Rashford is a D. Wait, Yella said Antony stats 38 games, 3 goals, 2 assists in all comps. 1 goal in the league, 1 assist in the league, 6 yellow cards. He is aggressive. Okay, all right. Rashford, you said a D.
Yeah, D.
For me.
Boy.
E for me was awful. Awful.
E for Rashford. What about Munch? What do you say?
I'll go D. More statements than goals.
D. More statements than goals. And I'm gonna go with an E. I think let's agree for
more
an
sulking.
E. He's the only E.
Wait. I thought we don't do E here.
Oh no, no E. It's F or D.
Yeah, so it's D.
I would say F because he was just as bad as Antony. Actually, I'm going to say
good.
No. Anthony was bad.
They both need to go. They both need to. He got a new contract. He scored 30 goals last year. He got a new bumper contract, and he thought, "I'm going to do an Aubameyang. I'm going to take the piss out of the fans in the club." So
listen. This so funny that the moment he got that new contract, I said he will not get up to 15 GA. For all competition.
He is genuinely he is an indictment of how bad this club is run. When you get rewarded with a new contract for scoring a 30-goal season, then you decide to just go and score 7 or 8. It's not good enough. Like it's not good enough. If this had been a club like Real Madrid,
okay.
If this had been Real Madrid, if this had been Real Madrid and he'd done the same thing, if this had been Real Madrid, he was on say he was on 150k a week at Real Madrid. He had a 30-goal season. And then he went and done that, they wouldn't even give him like a chance to redeem himself. They'd be like, "You transfer market, you can go play for Getafe."
Okay, all right, Reese, you've convinced me. All right, F for Rashford. Yeah. What about Martial? What's Martial?
Goodbye.
Non-applicable.
Bye-bye.
Non-applicable.
F as well. I still think Rashford's a D, but I won't fight for that.
Yeah,
Antony Martial.
But for Rashford, I wanted to fight for a G for Rashford, but I don't think. Yeah, I'm gonna win that battle. Thanks for the memories, to Martial.
Sayonara. Au revoir. Arrivederci.
Oh wow, says Reese. Okay, what about? Should we go to Garnacho? No, let's go to Garnacho.
Garnacho for me is a B. Like,
I agree. I wrote B as well.
There was times where he there was times where he was making incorrect decisions, like he was too many touches when he could have passed the ball, or he could have had a better opportunity to shoot in that way. But there was also times where he was shooting more than he actually was trying to create, which didn't help Haaland, where Haaland needed the service. But there was games where Garnacho came on and he really was a major impact when we really needed him. His goals were definitely a strong contribution. I'm only giving it to players that actually deserve it. He is one of them. I thought he was one of our better players, but he wasn't our best player. Like the 3 I've given an A to for a reason, but he was probably the next best after that. The rest of them after that just sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that assessment, Reese. Manj, do you disagree with Reese and I, or what are you saying? B is
Every
good for Garnacho.
everything you guys said, I agree with. I can't counter that.
No, but I feel like you said it's C for Garnacho. Is that?
No, I said that in the
No,
spur
he
of the
got a
moment,
B.
but when I had the time to think about it, I had to
Yeah.
rejig a few things. So
It's a
C.
B.
It's a B. It's a B. It's supposed to be a maybe B minus, but let's leave
but
it
you
there.
said you can't do B minus, so you contradicted yourself.
We're not doing no minus. Stop
No,
cheating.
we can't do minuses. Listen, Luen needs to make your dinner. Rashford D. We can't make a case
yo.
for Rashford if he's been outscored by Casemiro, by Maguire, by come on now, Luen. Let's be
And
serious.
Haaland score. And can we also forget as well that even like Rashford's a more prominent goal scorer, Haaland doubled his score for goals. Haaland scored more than double.
Wow, I love the boy, but yeah, this was the worst season
He was
for
poor
him.
this year. He might pick it up next year, but this year is the full year for him.
I think next season it'll be good, like a yo-yo season.
He's got got the same amount as Rashford. I mean, as Rashford, and who? Come on, in terms of assists,
all I'm gonna say.
Rashford.
All I'm gonna say when it comes to Rashford is I'm gonna echo the words of Jose Mourinho. You cannot win you cannot win leagues or compete for league titles with Rashford and Martial. One of them's already going.
There you go.
It's tough, Luen. I really wanted it to be a D for him, but it's a tough one. So
PSG,
anyway,
man.
let's go to Shoretire.
No.
Haaland. What's the point?
Okay, let's go to Rasmus Haaland then.
Haaland is the last one. He gets a C.
Reguilon. Oh no.
Reguilon wasted time, and we
He's alone. We wasted his time. He gets a C as well. We move on.
Reguilon cost me the chance to enjoy watching Alvaro Fernandez play for Man United. Now he's going to be stuck at Benfica. So fuck Reguilon. F.
Oh Lord, Reese. I keep the language clean.
I'm keeping it clean. That was clean. That was clean. Like the fact that Ten Hag made two stupid moves this year. Letting Mark Jurado go and letting Alvaro Fernandez go. Jurado, I want to see him developing a fullback at the club because we generally needed one. And Fernandez, far better than Reguilon will ever be as a football player. He's going to develop really well Benfica. He'll probably go to an even bigger club in the next couple of years, probably Barcelona. He might do a Grimaldo, who's the best wing back in football at the moment. We've lost a very good young fullback because of the stupidity of this football club. And Reguilon can go to hell.
Hey, Reese, don't forget about Crowbar as well.
That's a scathing take on Reguilon, but all right, what are you saying?
He gets an F for me. It's an F for me.
But so Reese, don't forget about Kovar as well. He was decent in pre-season.
Kovar did very well, apart from the final. Like he was very unlucky in that
Wait,
final.
Kovar don't play for the. Yeah, listen, let you see. We are just sidetrack it here. Reguilon gets a D.
Reguilon gets a D.
He was available. He was on bench, and again, it's a choice. He was available and he was on bench. That's a choice.
Got it.
What's up, Bernie? What's up, Bernie? Good to see you, man.
Totally just a C.
All right. Red one. Big up to you. Big up to Benny in the house as well. All right. And Vegeta is like, wow, Garnacho B. Mamma mia. I can't believe it.
Hannibal's rating. Hannibal was awful. Hannibal was awful.
Antony's got one league goal. We might as well give Hannibal a grade as well. Like, what did Hannibal?
We can grade Hannibal, no problem. Sevilla didn't even want to keep him after 2 games. That says it all. No rating, awful.
NA.
Wait, hold up. You see. Nah, that's not it. The thing with Sevilla is that Sevilla, like, listen, this man just came on loan and he wants to play. The man just said, I don't know if I could play him. The man said, I don't know if I can play. I'm trying to fight relegation here. You bring me some player like Hannibal. I don't think his heart is there. So he said, I don't think his heart is there, but either way, he gets a D for Summer United. I don't care what you do alone.
He
He should have went to
100%
Everton.
went to the wrong club for him, the wrong situation.
Let's
He should have
leave
went somewhere else.
alone then. Fine. Let's go to Rasmus Højlund. What are we saying about Højlund?
Haaland got a C. He got a C. Average at best.
You know, he started off with a back injury.
He gets a C.
I've got a back injury all my life, but he's still destructive. Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna shock people. I want to bring Garnacho's grade down 1. Even though I really like Garnacho, I would bring him down because I'm gonna do the exact same to Højlund. Højlund for the goals, fantastic, but overall game, dreadful. But obviously, that's a lack of any experience.
What was dreadful about Højlund's
young
game?
age?
Explain yourself, Reese.
He has one issue that most big strikers have, and that's particularly touch of a ball, controlling a ball. He isn't particularly that good at controlling a ball. The ball will bounce off him like a beach ball. And I agree with halftime with Vegeta. Vegeta's a quality character. I actually think for the goals, you would say a B for Højlund, but overall game, D. I think for a first season, 16 goals is great, but apart from that, he needs to do a whole lot better. I think a D is what he was this year, personally. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. He has the control. Carl, that is correct. He has the control of Romelu Luka Kardashian.
So remove the Timberland booth.
If he can work on his touch, work on his control, improving on his timing when he's getting into positions, he will genuinely do a whole lot better going forward. But the one thing that's a screw up for him, and this is unfortunate, we overpaid for someone who the year before only scored 11 goals all season. We've massively overspent on this guy to the point where natural development isn't even enough for him. He has to prove that price tag. When he gets to 20, 21, 22, he has to score 30 season. We should have spent, like, a competent club, if you want Rasmus Højlund, would spend 40 million on him.
Yeah.
40 million. We spent 80. We cannot even say for him as a benchmark 15 to 18 goals. Because of the amount of money we spent on him, we generally have to say, you know what, you have to score 25, 30 a season because of the price tag, which isn't fair on him. But he has no other choice. He's got to do 25, 30 a season. That's because of the price tag. That's how fucked this club is. Sorry, that's the last time I'm going to swear. That's how screwed the club was, the amount of money we spent on him. He has to get 25, 30 a season to even justify a chance of you can develop into a more all-rounded striker. That's how screwed he is. I genuinely feel sorry for him.
Okay.
Brilliant finisher, though. I like his finishing ability.
That this guy, he's got good pace, but and he had bailed us out a couple of times. Let's not forget the goals that he scored. Like when we're doing the review of the season, like we mentioned it, and he's so young. So I feel like he'll come good for us. It wasn't a waste of money. I feel like it's
definitely not a waste. It's definitely not a waste. I agree with that. It's definitely not a waste. It's just unfortunate that he cannot live up to such a price tag unless he keeps going big numbers every single year. Like, he's got that situation which is very unfortunate. If he had a more experienced striker around him, like 28-year-old to 31-year-old striker to work with, where he can do better in terms of work on his game, where he can go in and out, you would see more to his game. He didn't have that all year, so he has been exposed to that, which for any young striker is harsh. But
Reese, do you remember in the second half, like versus Man City, when he came on, how he he bossed was it I can't remember which defender, Man City defender, but like he was imposing himself. He's showing like some promise. Let's not forget that those little moments that go unnoticed.
There's inexperience to Rasmus Højlund, but if he just works on his own individual weaknesses, which is his touch and his position in and around the box, because there was times where he was in really easy positions and he did not make himself available enough. A lot of people say he didn't get enough service, but to get service, you also have to make yourself available. There was times where he didn't even do that. So that's another thing. Like, you can blame the team for not creating, but you've also got to blame the striker for not making themselves available. That's what top strikers do. If you can do that, then you'll have a better second season.
I'll be legit honest with you guys. Yeah, people hyped him up because he sounds like Haaland. Let's be honest.
Yeah, spot on.
Okay. Haaland, we did Haaland. Then, what about Shoretiri? Come on, let's give him a grade. Did he play at all this season? I don't even remember.
I don't even know where he went on loan.
Why keep bringing him up? He didn't play a single game. He didn't play a single game.
All right,
I don't even know where he went on loan. I'm not even joking. I don't know where
He went to loan to Derby or Birmingham, one of them teams.
All right, so he went to nowhere.
Right? I think
he went to nowhere.
So,
right, okay.
Yeah, we move on. He didn't have a pair for Manchester United.
All right.
That's it.
Ethan Wheatley.
NA, come on, what are we doing here?
Come on, yeah.
NA, not available.
Not applicable for Ethan Wheatley. Okay, what about anybody else that we're missing? Let me just make sure. Is there anybody in the squad that was Brendan Williams? No. We didn't see Brendan
He
Williams.
didn't have an appearance. He did. Listen, you're getting too happy. All these players you're about to mention, none of them have an appearance. There's Brandon Williams, Jadon Sancho, Paolo Pelestri, Mason Greenwood. No appearance. Fine Pelestri, you could say, because Pelestri gets a D.
Okay. Well, we are now finally at eriktenhag.
Until Ten Hag.
F.
Until F. 10. Oh, Donny van de Bleek, says Stephanie. Yeah. Wait, Shoretiri had 12 games for Man United?
Under 21.
Okay. I gotta do this first.
Oh. Okay, I thought you were about to pull a stunt, but let's start with you, Reese. What grade is eriktenhag getting? And then we'll go to Manj and then Omo. Okay. And anybody in the chat, please go ahead and give your reason for the grade, by the way, in the chat as well. We want to hear why you think Ten Hag should get the grade that he got. Hit the like button if you just got here, by the way. We have almost 20 people on YouTube and 32 people in total watching. Thank you for being here, guys. Let's go.
So like I said at the very start when I spoke about Ten Hag, is like when you asked me, am I Ten Hag in or am I Ten Hag out, and you already got my answer.
Yeah.
About like you cannot justify giving this manager a third season just because he won the FA Cup when we finished 8th, which is worse than what David Moyes did, and David Moyes didn't even get to finish the season. Last year, for getting third, 2 cup finals, including one where we actually won a trophy, I would give him a C for his first season. Second season, you still win the FA Cup, that's fine. He's the first manager since Sir Alex Ferguson to win a trophy in back-to-back seasons, which the club hasn't done since that period. We've done 2016 and 2017 under Van Gaal and Mourinho with multiple back-to-back trophies, but it wasn't with the same manager. So he's done that at least. I'll grant him that. That's a positive. However, in terms of managing this squad, in terms of getting the best out of his players, getting players into positions where they're more effective, only maybe 3 or 4 from the whole season were consistently able to do that. The rest of the squad, shocking. The no ability to change things up, playing one way. I don't think it's enough to justify his position as a manager. If he is the manager next year, then he has to, going forward, he has to play the same way we did in the cup final. Like the way we played in the cup final, like the pressing style, like we should not be trying to play out the Dutch. The Dutch method does not work in the Premier League. It's too soft, it's too passive, it's not aggressive enough. It's nice elsewhere because it's fun to watch, but in the Premier League you get exposed. It's not going to justify him in that way. He needs to add a little bit more aggressiveness into his team. the cup final was a nice moment to end the season, but if you exclude the cup final, we exited a very easy Champions League group where you could have still got 12 points. We still could have got 12 points anyway. We should have beaten Galatasaray and Copenhagen home and away when you look at it, based on the quality of the squads. However, shout to Galatasaray, 102 points this year, you win the league. Fair play to them for doing that. 3 points ahead of Fenerbahce, only lost once all season, which was the game that they lost. They didn't even start Fred. So there you go, Fenerbahce. That's the stupid lesson for you. When you look at the Carabao Cup performances, our trophy we're supposed to defend, we didn't even get a genuine defence on it. It was ridiculous. Selections were poor. Too many times we kept hearing the words, it's part of the plan. That ends it all for me. So, long story short, the trophy is an excitement. The trophy gives me an A factor. But the overall season, I'm going to say you've went 2 steps back. So I'm going to do 2 grades down. So I'm going to go from a C to an E. I will give him an E.
D or F? Where does he lie in between D or F? Is it a D or an F?
He gets an E for me personally.
No
I've
E.
went based on the fact that in his first season he got 2 cup finals, he got the Europa League quarterfinals, he got 3rd place. That for me gives him a C. This year he was out so quickly from a cup that we actually won last year. We won the FA Cup. We then finished 8th, which isn't even acceptable, with our lowest points total in 40 years, our worst league position in 35 years, something like that. We conceded well over 700 shots, which is a disgrace itself. He shouldn't be getting higher than an E. I'm sorry, but he shouldn't. Like, for me, it's an E, and that's as far as I'll go. I can't go any higher. I can't. I just can't.
I hear it. Okay, Manj, what is your grade for Ten Hag and why?
My grade is an E. My grade has to be an E, man. I'm sorry, Botsman. You have to go to an E. I'm sorry. I know Ten Hag's your guy and everything else.
Grade an E for Eric, then, I guess. No, what are you saying?
I need to say this.
Go ahead.
19 defeats in all competitions, minus 1
Horrible.
goal difference. United actually owe a goal to the Premier League at the end of the season. Creating unnecessary dramas with some players. Let's not get into that. That's for a different stream. And didn't implement a gameplay style until match day 36. And I think that they're very lucky to get through to the final. If it wasn't for VAR, United would have been out. And FA Cup, great. People still sipping the Kool-Aid. That's their prerogative. I ain't going to go against them for that one. But at the end of the day, that 1 cup win doesn't paper any of the cracks. I want to go for an E. As in, don't forget, Ten Hag once said, eras come to an end. I called Ten Hag's era an error, ERROR. And that's all I got.
Jeez, man. Jeez. Oh, word. Okay. You and Reese making a strong case for an E, but we said it's either D or F. So do you feel like your E, Manj, is closer to an F or closer to a D?
Oh, closer to an F. Come on now.
Okay. All right. Even though he has a cup in hand versus Man City.
Doesn't matter. 19 defeats.
Okay. That's your opinion. All right. Let's hear Professor Omo then. What are you saying, Omo?
You already know me. He gets an F. I am 100% positively sure he gets an F. He's bald. I don't like the way he talks and he cannot communicate. Now, those are the 4-1s. Let's get those 4-1s out the way. His 3-1-6 tactics is 3-1-6 is a poor tactic. It doesn't work. Your midfield is open. You underutilize the squad. You didn't experiment enough. Your in-game management is poor. Poor man management by itself. 8th in the league. FA Cup final. You're able to win that. That's a W. Fourth in the UCL table, fourth. Second leg in Carabao Cup, you got eliminated. You abandoned the midfield, the left back issue, as in the Shaw Malasa injured, so you bring a regular on. Regular come in on loan. Cool, you send Aaron Fernandez to Granada. Okay, come January, Regulon went back to Tottenham. Fernandez recalled him back. So we're thinking, like, okay, we might have a left back. You listen to the medical staff that told you, like, oh, Shaw and Malasia will be back by a certain available date. So immediately, in your mind, they tell you they'll be back. So in your mind, you already just like assume, like, oh, I'm gonna have a left back, knowing that they don't 100% guaranteed. They're not 100% guaranteed that somebody coming from injury. So either we send Aaron Fernandez to Benfica. Now you finish the whole season with no left back, and that is why what's his player name? Luke Shaw played 12 games. Now early in the season, you said Aaron could play left back. Aaron play left back. Then all of a sudden you said Lindelof could play left back. So now you drop Aaron back to the left to the bench. They bring Lindelof in to play left back for 2 games. Then he got injured. Then all of a sudden you start playing Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, alternate left back, right back. Either way, we'll move on. Back to my list. Newport, Wigan, Coventry. You started a very strong team. A very strong team. Did not rotate. Bruno Fernandes played 37 games in the Premier League. The only time he didn't play games when he was injured, and that's against the Liverpool 0-0 loss. We move on. And cannot adapt. He did not adapt his formation at all. With injuries, without injuries, you still did not adapt. Because you're going to tell me, oh, with injuries, you cannot play football. With injuries, the same way you won the FA Cup final, right? FA Cup final, you won with Casemiro at the centre back, right? But then we move on. You say you did not want to play the Ajax 3. Yeah, you're signing Ajax players. We move on. Second half, you're constantly getting exposed. Second half, FC teams come at us in the second half. There's nothing you can do. We get exposed. Second most shots conceded in the league. Second in least crosses completed in the league. Amrabat and Mane never played a game together. The only time they were able to play a game was during the 1-0 loss versus Arsenal. They were to play against the Arsenal game, Newcastle game, Brighton game, and Man City game. Those are the only 4 times those 4 games where those 2 played together. Again, to you, that's a short schedule. We're available in the middle of the season. But say you decide to play McTominay. Ahmad and Fortin, you create the issue in there by yourself. Again, Fortin should never have played over Ahmad. Fortin should never play over Ahmad. The first time Fortin played was the Wolves game. Ahmad was on the bench. Newport, Ahmad was on the bench. If there was a 1 game in between that, Ahmad was on the bench. We move on. This man never tried throughout the back. He had the players, but he didn't do throughout the back. Then we move on. He never tried for the EPL. You did not try for the EPL. You decided to waste our time over there. Also,
I just want to say this, Robo. I want to say this, Robo. Oh, breathe. I just want to say this, breathe.
I'm not done here. I'm not going to breathe. I'm not going to breathe because I'm almost done here. But it's Bayern Munich. This man said he's not playing Varane because of passing angles. Then the next game, you decided you're going to play Varane because you needed defensive work. Excuse me, explain that to me. Because to me, it doesn't make any sense. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, yes. And that's it. I'm done. And that, to me, is why Eriktenhag deserves an F this year. For the year 2023-2024, I don't care what you did last year. We're talking about this year. 2023-2024, you get an F. Listen, this man said Sancho training levels. Okay, take Sancho out then. Win me games. So you took out Sancho. He didn't win me games. Cool. We move on. So he's had to play Marcus Rashford. Rashford had to stick up the pitch, but you say you're gonna play Marcus Rashford throughout the runs. You're gonna play again. I repeat. He said gonna play Marcus Rashford throughout the runs. Move on, Anthony. Anthony doesn't have to play shit all day. But still, again, this man decided, like, you know what? I'm still going to play Anthony throughout the runs. But Ahmad was available. Mount, also, I didn't have it here. Mount not playing a lot of games as a choice. This man put him on the bench. Repeat, Mount not playing a lot of games. He was on the bench as a choice. Also, by the way, those times, I said Linda played left back for 3 games, right? Ragnar was on the bench. It's a choice. These are choices the manager made by himself. Is why he put us in this position. The 3-1-6 is nonsense. Do you see again? You saw Lisa go ran out the middle. All these other goals ran out the middle. First 5 games of the season, we have considered 4 comeback goals. First 5 games of the season, we have considered 4 or 5 comeback goals in the first 5 games of the season. And you want to tell me this match will stay an extra year? And again, when I speak, this man is so poor. When I speak about other managers in the league, I look at wait, is this team better than Manchester United? Is Maguire, is Lewis Dunk better than Maguire? Is Andriga better than Rashford? No, it's not. So how are we losing? How are we losing to this team? They're not better than us. Yet we are losing to them. So to me, the manager has to go. It's ETH fault. That's it, and I'm done.
Wow. Wow.
Drop a
Omo,
bomb.
thank you for sharing that. Here's the thing. Obviously, so many points that you mentioned. I cannot respond to all of them, but here's a few things that I want to mention to keep in context while you're making your opinion on this guy. Of course, he's has blood on his hands. There's no doubt about that. I think everybody agrees. Everybody in the fan base. But at the same time, part of like what made Ten Hag good last season is because he was trying out different things. Nobody saw the Weghorst role as a 10 coming. It was an experiment that worked out. When you are in a lab, some experiments
you're
will
going too
work,
far.
some experiments will
You're
not
going too
work.
far.
That's just how it
You're
goes.
going too far.
You cannot
2023, 2024. 2022, 2024. Watch Wargos on the team. So basically, then the team.
Let me finish. Let me say my responses to some of the things I will, and I'm not able to respond to everything because you were on Busta Rhymes mode. But listen. Injuries are usually never an excuse, but you cannot look me in the eye and tell me that we did not have an unprecedented number of injuries this season. Our center back combinations, like no other team has had those center back like the amount of combinations that they've.
I'm going to respond to that.
Let me. I'll pass the ball back to you.
I just want to say I've missed this.
Exactly. Look at 36 different back lines. Come on. You heard what if you listen, I don't know if you listened to his interview with Gary Neville. I'm gonna be quick, Reese. His interview with Gary Neville gave so much insight onto why he tried to stick with the same plan for a long part of the season. As a manager, just like a player, just like anybody in life, when you get into a new role, new position, there's things that you learn on the job. There's the skills and experience that you bring to the job, but there'll be things that you are picking up and learning about yourself, about the players, and all of those things a combination of how bad our season was. I know that the Amrabat at left back, I did not like that. Casemiro center back experiment, I did not like that. And he continued doing it because part of being a manager is you have to be stubborn in your ways. That's part of, like, every manager has a philosophy or ideas that they're stubborn. Even if other people can see that they're not working, they still stick to their guns, right? And Ten Hag, some of those guns were really bad guns, but he stuck to them, right? And then, let's not forget how the season ended. Like, we saw the last couple of games towards the end of the season, there was a little bit more cohesion in our midfield. Now, is that on to Ten Hag or is that about the players' fault? I don't know, but there is blame for both. And you cannot forget the players. You cannot forget the fact that these players have been here for a long. Some players date back to Louis van Gaal or even Jose days. And you cannot judge it. Like, part of it is like, I understand he's got some things like Antony, some signings like Antony that you're like, bro, in retrospect, Antony failed his second season. We all agreed that it was an F or a D. Actually, it was an F. I think that was the unanimous grade. And at the same time, like, which manager has made a signing that all 100% of the signings have worked? That you gotta take some of the things into context a little bit. So, Omo, I hear all that you said. Reese, I heard what you said, and also Omo Lamar, aka Mudge. All the points, everybody has an opinion, and the opinion is not bigger than anybody's opinion. Go ahead.
My opinion is bigger.
That's why I've got something, though. That's what I was going to say. Like,
your opinion is louder and faster, Omo. But Reese, go ahead.
Like I said earlier on, I've retyped it in the chat. Like, for me, going forward next year, the way we play in the cup final, that's, in my opinion, how we should be playing. We should be playing with aggressive, energetic midfielders that are able to work, not the tippy-tappa, pussy-o nonsense that is just not work for the team. Soft players that can't even pass the ball. For me, it should be aggressive, bombing fullbacks, two wingers that can actually create and score, a striker that can do the basics properly and finish, but also the midfield just works hard. We should play like Liverpool. Enough said. That's how we should be playing.
Okay. That being said, I think fine. A C is too generous for Ten Hag, even though he won us a trophy. We'll give it a C. What's supposed to be
an F. He gets an F because I'm not done yet with my dissertation. I'm gonna respond.
Let's agree to disagree.
I haven't got the energy.
I need to respond because everything you said, I wrote it down because I want to respond to every single point. I wrote it down, so I have to respond.
Go ahead and respond, sir. All right.
You said the last couple of games you played well. Yes. When was that? May 5th. The season started August 14 versus Wolves, 1-0 win. That's when the season started. That's when this issue has been starting, by the way. In terms of forget about it. And this man just said, I cannot change the tactics because if players come back, they're gonna put it in a different tactics. Sure, your tactics have been working since day zero. Since day zero has decided. But when it comes to game week 17 versus Liverpool 0-0, you start to play the compact way. The same way you played against City, the same way you played against Newcastle, Arsenal, Brighton, you played compactly. So again, that shows that you can do it in the middle of the season. It shows that you can do it in the middle of the season, but you decided not to do it as a choice. And so you did it in the middle of the season versus Liverpool with injuries. Because guess who didn't play again? The great Bruno Fernandes. Okay, we move on. This man is stubborn in his ways. He never changed his ways. And that's why we lost all those games. So it's time to forget about the whole game we are losing left and right. No, I'm not going to forget about that. And then again, what else do I have here? When those players have been here for long, who are those players? Marcus Rashford has been here doing Liverpool ways, right? Maguire has been here doing Ole. Lindelof has been here doing Jose. He barely played. Shaw has been here doing Liverpool, but he barely played. What other players have there been here for a long time? The only all players here have been latest all the time. So when they say players have been here for a long time, they haven't played though. McTominay is a youth system. He came in doing Jose. He came in doing Jose. Yeah, Jose Mourinho was hyping him up. He came into the youth system of Jose. So again, who are these players? Dalot was born doing Jose Mourinho, but he wasn't played. He didn't get played. He got sent on to AC Milan. So again, who are these players? Who are these players that have been here for a long time? Let's start it out. So again, this man gets an F. You were not. This man gets an F.
Luke Shaw has been here a long time, Omo.
Papi, you're right. This is why I say he didn't play. He only had 12 appearances for Luke Shaw. So again, he was barely here. He was just a passerby. You played it 12 games and sat on the sideline.
What about Martial?
Rashford been here doing Liverpool. Martial better play than the game. So again, he's a zero already. He's a zero because he better play in the games. He better play the game. Rashford was here.
The games that Martial featured in. We reviewed the games that, Luke Shaw, yeah, sure, 12 appearances is not good, but it's still something. But the larger point is...
hold on. You said Rashford. You know that Rashford was poor, right? And the man decided to play him. Yeah. Is a choice. Again, this one I said that, Antony has been dropped for Rashford, is what I said. Antony has been dropped for Rashford because again, Garnacho is the left winger. He's being put on the right. So to satisfy Marcus Rashford put on the left again, that's a choice the manager has made to play Marcus Rashford. He could have dropped him and play Antony on the right, but no, he didn't do that. He could have dropped him and play Forson on the right. He could have dropped him and play Ahmad on the right. He could have dropped him and play Mount on the right. So again, these are choices the manager has made on his own. This is the bed that he has laid on. Hasn't he played Bruno on the right at some point? So again, these are choices he has made. You cannot defend this, sir.
I hear it. Remember the point that I started with, Omo, just like a player, just like anybody, when you enter a new role, there's moments of learning. And he learned, okay, cool. If the players can do that versus Liverpool. And then he was like, well, let me go back to what I've been trying to teach, which is proactive football all season. And, we're past that Liverpool hurdle. That was a moment of learning for Erik that I hope that if he gets a second chance, we will not see a repetition of that mistake again. But
it was not a learning experience because again, as I said, that's I specifically said, game week 17 in the middle of the season, he has realized like, hey, me play compact, I could get a result and still attack at the same time. Because again, we were able to attack that Rashford was messing up. Again, the following week, what was our midfield? Wide open. Like this is to me. Again, when I say that, these players like, Maguire cannot play a high line, or Lindelof cannot play a high line, then how about you drop the line? How about you drop the line? This is the part where you're supposed to adapt. Like, okay, Maguire, I have you. You cannot play a high line. Oh, Wamsaka, I have you. I put you at left back. I know you cannot defend properly. Let me drop you back a little bit. But instead, what did he do? Did he do that? Did he drop them back? Yes or no?
No.
I rest my case.
So yes, it's part of the learning curve. It's part of his assessment of the tools that he had. Like he asked them to do impossible tasks. We saw like Maguire not looking very comfortable at different moments. All this stuff is part of him and what he needs to learn as a coach. But you cannot say that after he won you a cup, like he does not deserve a little bit more time to just like come on, at least
Papi,
give him another shot.
I think one thing I want to say.
Papi, what league are we in? Papi, what league are we in?
Omo, we're in the Premier League.
I will answer for you. We're in the English Premier League, and we finished.
I've got one last comment. I've got one last comment.
Reese, answer this. You're going on. It's finishing acceptable.
The last grade, the last thing before we close up the stream, because I know we're not going to agree on this. So, what do you think of the VAR and refereeing, by the way?
Wait, hold up. Well, there's something that happened in the middle of the season. It gets an F. No, it helped us at some point. It gets a D. It helped us at points, but it hurt us more than it helped. Tottenham, Romero, Jesus Christ. The first couple of weeks, those first 10 weeks, it was brutal.
I actually saw a league table that had what it would have been without VAR, and we were not too far from eighth. It was crazy. It was still crazy.
It helped us.
Anyway,
back in the day, with no VAR offensive commentary, we are going home. We are going home.
That would have been tough. Okay. Let's hear from Reese, and hopefully Manj is awake as we wrap up the stream. We want to hear guys in the chat, or the people that see the stream later. These are the grades. These are the grades from the Manchester United players and the remarks. If you agree or disagree, please kindly let us know. Hit it with a comment. We would like to know your thoughts as well and why you agree or disagree. So, what a review of our player season grades. Let's go to you, Reese, and then Manj, and then we'll close with Omo. I know we'll never agree with about Ten Hag between Omo and I, but what are you saying?
So English officials are the worst in football history. So they get the lowest score you can give them. Same as VAR, it's poorly run. But also, what I was going to say as well, there's the last thing on Ten Hag before I dip, is the one thing about Ten Hag that is concerning about not just his talent ID, but it's either if you're Dutch or if you played in the Prem, like if you played in the Eredivisie, that power needs to be taken away from him, because that is my genuine concern. But also, you've spent 450 million over 2 years to not even develop a clear style of play when other managers at other big clubs can do it in less than half the time. For me, you only need about 18, in my opinion, you only need about 18 months if you're a really good manager to actually get your style across at the club you want to manage. If you can't do it in less than 2 years, especially going into a third year, there's no way you're going to justify that. And you can say that Myrtle spent it, but Ten Hag asked for these players. It's 450 million spent on Dross, and he approved these signings.
Sure. Yeah. But wouldn't you say, Reese, that from his signings, there's been some that have worked? Like Lisandro Martinez is a gem, right?
Mm-hmm. Martinez has worked by landslide. He's been by far his best signing.
If he was available, we know that when Malacia is fit, he gives his all, and he's actually you see the potential that he has, right?
Yeah. I think one thing that we do need to look. I blame the directors for the vast value, Red One. Like that's what I'm saying. The mass value, I'll definitely blame them, but the actual targets and the players and actually fit into his system, he underestimated the league, because the only player that actually has worked consistently, actually no, two of them, apart from when he gets sent off, Casemiro and Martinez are the only two signings he's made that's actually genuinely been consistently good. The rest of them haven't worked. He's really underestimated the league in terms of the quality. Pep tried
Haaland
it.
hasn't
Pep,
worked, in your opinion, Reese?
too early to say. Too early to
Yeah.
say. Like, I think he's had a good season, but I don't think you should justify it straight away. I think he still needs another year before I can put him in the conversation.
Okay,
I'm
fair
based
enough.
on the 2 years, but what I'm going to say as well, and this is the last thing for me. In terms of underestimating the league, I look at a manager he's worked with when Pep done it in his first season. He signed players that were far too technical, they were very light, not strong enough for the league, and they got rinsed. So he added players that are far more stronger, more aggressive, far more physical, that can still play with the ball at their feet. And look at them now. That's what Ten Hag underestimated. That's what we need next season. Players who can still play good football, but you need to be actually physical and withstand the demands of the league.
Sure. I hear you.
If he does that in the
Thank you
summer,
for that opinion. What are you saying, Manj? Are you awake?
Yeah, we're just enjoying these conversations that you guys are having.
Yes, and where are you with it, brother?
In regards to Ten Hag or United in general?
In regards to United in general, I think we'll dwell on Ten Hag, but whatever, because like what it's more like summarizing also just like how the season went and hopefully your expectations for next season, whether Ten Hag is here or whether he's out.
United season is like yours and Joe's show called The Good, Bad and the Ugly. Majority ugly. In regards to next season, I feel like United should target the Europa League because that way that's a better way and simpler way-ish of getting Champions League football and the European trophy as well. But it all depends on what who the manager is and who the players are and all that sort of thing. It's all dependent on the summer.
I hear it. Okay. Omo, you heard obviously Johnny Evans and probably Tom Heaton will be here next season.
Let them sign. They're just here to get their coaching badges. I understand, because for coaching badge you have to go back to your club that you own and be there for like a year plus. So they're probably just here for the coaching badges. Okay, same thing with Tom Hudson. We do that. We're a charity. We help them get their coaching badges. They're not supposed to play. You're not supposed to come on that pitch. Well, you're just here for your coaching badge. So if you just come into that pitch, you're like, bro, we apologize. We didn't think we would need you to play, so you just play. But either way, last year, Ten Hag played a 4-2-1-3 with a double pivot in the midfield of Casemiro and Eriksen. Sometime Fred coming for Eriksen. It worked. The year after, this year, he decided to flip the whole switch. So he didn't even build on that. He flipped the whole switch and go 3-1-6. Marcus Rashford scored 30 goals. Why does he score 30 goals? Because whilst Wargos was playing the 10, was playing the 9/10. He's just there to facilitate for Rashford or the right wing or to Bruno Fernandes. He's a facilitator. That's why I call him the defensive striker. That's why he was there. Now you bring in a new striker in Rasmus Haaland in a whole different profile from Wargos. It doesn't work. Sabitzer, a good player, you bring in a whole different profile in Mason Mount. It doesn't work. Again, these are choices the manager has made. If you thought it's 4-2-1-3 this year, it would have worked out. But then again, it didn't work out. But again, let's go back. Let's go back. Beginning of the season.
Look at what almost last discussion. What came out to be an analysis of Ten Hag right there. But all right. Go ahead.
Well, let's go back. Last season, right? First game of the season, he got beat up badly by Brentford and Brighton, right? He wanted to do his style there. He wanted to do his style, the player available. You know what he decided? Like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna use Ole Pro Max. We know what Ole Pro Max is? Ole was counter-attacking football. So his way was play off in the back with Leach and Shaw and still counter-attack football. Decided year 2, this year, I'm gonna play 3-1-6. And it hasn't worked. So, like for example, I'm gonna just give an example. Trent Alexander-Arnold. What is he poor at? Defender, right? He's a poor defender. Wait, we all agree on that he's a poor defender.
Yeah.
But what do they do to help him? Hey, Endo, cover for him. Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, cover for him. Cover his weakness. But what do we do at Manchester United? No. We're going to expose our player. You're gonna leave Casemiro that low pivot and you think he's not going to get overrun? Come on, we know this. Of course he's going to get overrun. Why are we surprised? But then again, Ineos, you know what to do. Sack the man. I don't care who comes in. I don't care. Don't ask me. I don't care. Anybody's preferable to Erik ten Hag. Thank you.
To be fair, not gonna lie, the first time I heard Kwanzaa's name out, I did call him Quan Chi because I was playing Mortal Kombat at the time.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, guys, whether you're Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out, this is the part of the review. That's conversations that are happening in the Ineos offices right now. And I'm curious what you think of what we've talked about. These are some of the points that have been raised when we're analyzing Ten Hag's tenure at Man United. Look at his strengths and his weaknesses, to quickly just read them out. If you're not interested in reading, it's like the player development, like getting the players like Maino and promoting them. Maino didn't even go to like under 21. That's the strength right there. That's something we have to commend Ten Hag for. Garnacho's development as well has been really systematic. Like we saw last season, he had cameo minutes, and now he's a full-time starter, and he's still learning. Garnacho is learning on his job as well. It's a new role. Whatever. You see the tactical stubbornness. We've talked about that. That's a weakness on Ten Hag that Omar has been reiterating. Questionable talent ID. Some of the players have not worked out. Antony's and the Weggies and so forth. And it keeps on going. There's a lot of strengths and a lot of weaknesses that the manager have. Your opinion on them would be really, really, really insightful, because it adds to this this table, this analysis. Red One says no talent ID. We said questionable. We didn't say no talent ID.
To be fair,
that you're 100% happy with Antony, Red One.
I think for me, purely the talent ID is for players he signs, not for the youth. But youth, no, but for players he signs, definitely questionable for that.
Yeah,
some of them are questionable. There's some people that do not want to question. Beef starter with players, only player power FC. People will say that, says Red One.
Papi, during the time of Sir Ferguson, right? I believe we have always promoted youth. Right?
Yeah.
So why does Ten Hag get credit for promoting youth? We've always done this.
Because it's not a given that he will. It's an assessment of him as an individual. He can choose not to. Come on now.
Doing Manchester United. We force promote
No. He can choose not to. He can choose to be like, no, these youth are staying on the bench. Like
You're right. But Jose did it.
Given that because we've been doing it, like Ten Hag as a manager will like go ahead and do it. That's why it's in there. It's something that we recognize as a positive strength that he has. It's like playing the youth. Come on now. These other things, the externalities that came from it as well. Stopping Pep's double-double, Klopp's quadruple charge. Like these are all the things that Ten Hag has done that might go under the radar. Of course, he broke some crazy records with the amount of losses we've had. That's a weakness. That's a blood in Ten Hag's hands, But you cannot say that he inherited the club when it was a moment of like crazy, like, takeover talk, and he still tried to keep the ship going. Like that has an impact on the employees, like what the takeover is all about, like what's going on. This is part of why that has to be recognized as a strength and a positive thing that Ten Hag has done. You saw what the Chelsea takeover did to Chelsea players, and you could hear what Thomas Tuchel was saying when he was still the manager over there. Like
he should be our manager.
Some people can argue that there isn't, but there is. That's the honest reality. His in-game management is sometimes weak. That's a weakness he has. So anyway, that's some of the things that we cannot also disregard the fact that sometimes, because maybe English is not his first language, some of the communication things are lost in translation. That's not to say Ten Hag is a bad person. It's just the weakness that he has in his communication. I'm curious what you think about some of these points when you look at them. But the fact of the matter is, I think the majority of a lot of fans are right now behind him, and Ineos have to make a big decision here. Question for Omo: do you want Sancho back? Says Red One.
If Ten Hag is gone, yes.
Yeah, that one is clear. Eh? Is Ten Hag stay? Sancho is probably not coming back.
Yeah,
think,
if we go back on loan again. We enjoyed our last loan. We got the UCL final.
there is one prominent weakness on here, though, that has actually been listed as why he didn't get the Tottenham job, even though it's Tottenham. It was communication. That's why they didn't give him the job in the first place. They went, no, the way he came across in his interview, he wasn't particularly strong enough. I think that's something that is quite a worry, but the poor rotation and in-game management, you can certainly improve on that. If he does, then he has got a decent chance of having a better season next year if he's in the job. We'll see what happens, but
sure,
it's F more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, maybe tomorrow is the last day of the week. Maybe Ineos will drop a bombshell by the morning. We'll see. We'll do what we always do: check Fabrizio early in the morning, and hopefully he'll have some good news. Manj, I see you're unmuted. Were you about to say something as we wrap up, my bro?
I've got a feeling we're going to get an announcement on the day of the Euros. That's just my feeling.
Manj, that theory is not a bad theory at all. You remember Cristiano Ronaldo, didn't he also do his PS Morgan something like right before an international tournament? Like there was like, as soon as there's a distraction in football, like that will like
before the World Cup.
It was World Cup, right?
In Qatar, yeah. Just for the pure entertainment, the Scotland game versus Germany is about to kick off. Fans before there's been an announcement in Manchester United. Just
wow.
Blow the Euro
That's going to happen.
if that happens.
That's my theory. That's my
if
feeling.
It does,
I
swear I'll laugh.
I think your theory holds a lot of water, bro. Anyway, hopefully, because if you ask Ten Hag right now, he's still on holiday, he'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna win trophies where I go. So
I don't care.
And Omo, question: what did Ten Hag do to you?
Man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
Anyway, big shout out to Omo.
Listen, real quick. This man, I see him play at Ajax. I see what he did there. He came to United. I expect him to do that. You sign Ajax for it, and you say, "Oh no, you can't do it." What do you mean by that, sir? What are you doing now? You should have done it last year. This is why I'm not giving him a leeway. He should have done this last year, but he didn't do it last year. Last year he prioritized winning, and now you want to give him start play year two? No, you can't do that. You can't go. You can't. It doesn't work like that.
I hear it. Bro. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for your time, Omo, Manj, and Reese.
Thank you.
And you guys are legends. Big up to Reese, man. I hope this is gonna be, the summer where you come back and show up a lot more. Happy hour needs your vibes too, bro.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Big shout out to Reese. Big shout out to Manj and the professor. My Lord. Oh, what a day. What a deliberation, especially about Omo right there. He went crazy. And guys, the real MVP is you, Lucky, you, Red One, Luann as well, and Stephanie and Ivan. Big shout out to you and Box. And everybody that's been contributing and being part of the conversation. Much love and appreciation from me to you, Yale. I know it's very late in Norway right now, so I appreciate you so much for being here. And also, who else? Two more shout outs. Somebody from Greece was in here joining us from Twitch. I think his name is Aleko. Shout out to you, Alek. Big shout out to you. Thank you for being a part of this community. It's a small community, but we're growing, and thank you for being here. And Manj, as always, Banana Silva, shout out to you as well. And also, last shout out will go to you. I already said Lucky. I already said who else? One more person, and then from there we shut the stream. Oh boy. Stephanie, obviously Stephanie. Legend, Stephanie. I appreciate you so much. Guys, what a pleasure. This season was not a pleasure. It's a season to forget. So hopefully next season we start strong and we go for a little bit more stability. I do not want to see a league performance like we did. Even if we win a cup, there was some painful losses that today we reminded ourselves of, and we can do that. Men in Black forget everything that has happened this season, and we go strong. All right, from me to you, lots of love and appreciation. Make sure you get yourself some rest and some sleep, and drink more water. Luan, it's dinner time. Enjoy. Bon appetit. And shout out to you. We are out of here. Kind reminder one more time. There's a notification bell somewhere. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And if you're here and you haven't subscribed yet, you're 007 agent. Get your act together and subscribe. All right. I'll see you guys for the happy hour tomorrow at 10 p.m. UK, 5 p.m. Eastern time. We will be there. Peace.
Football Power Hour!
What are you saying? What are you saying? What is he saying?